No Fester, I guess he must be in Cake Shock or something. I don't know.
I think I saw him.
Oh, he is
I
in
saw
the
him on the
house?
road.
All right,
Yeah.
yeah, Fester's birthday yesterday. The cake girl just blew it out of the water with the manatee cake. Holy crap, was that amazing.
That was something. It was so realistic looking. I mean, I kept looking at it on social media too. The pictures did it justice. You could see all the detail.
You know, I started to call FWC, Florida Wildlife, and, in a panic to say that there was a manatee out of the water in an office park in St. Pete over here. That's what I was about to do. All right, Fester has lumbered into the studio. Hey, folks, it is 6:01 on the MJ Morning Show. So here at the beginning of the show, clearly the show has begun, and we will give away $1,000 this hour with the MJ Morning Show $40,000 money heist. It begins again 4 times today: 6 o'clock hour, which is right now, 7 o'clock hour, 8 o'clock hour, 9 o'clock hour. Your chance to win $1,000 each time. First grand is on the way in just a bit. Sponsored by the Kemp Law Group, bringing you the money heist this week. Last week it was our friends at Lucan's Wine and Spirits. This week, Kemp Law. You know the drill. Accident or fall, you call Kemp Law. And you could fall into $1,000 cash in just a matter of minutes. So stand by. Fester.
Yes.
Was that cake a hit at your house? We'll get into this later on, probably in more detail. Maybe call your wife, Allison. Today's the last day of school for the kiddies, right?
Today is the last day, at least in Hillsborough County.
A lot of the counties.
It's a half day today.
Gotcha.
So I think I have to pick my son up at like 11:20.
Last day, half day.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll call Allison later on. But, man, what was that cake like when you brought that thing home? Folks, if you missed it, if you have not seen the Cake Girl Manatee Cake. Yeah, yesterday was Fester's birthday. Big day, big milestone, 50. So Fester celebrated. We had the Cake Girl make a cake. I was trying to think what's the best cake that the Cake Girl could make to represent Fester or something meaningful. So we had her make a manatee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's,
very, very similar body structure.
surprisingly appropriate.
Right. Very, very appropriate. So this cake was just unbelievable. If you haven't seen it, the cake is up on my Instagram. I've got it pinned. I think I pinned it last night. And then there's also a video of the Cake Girl actually coming into the studio yesterday with the big reveal. They shot a video, and then they had me collaborate, so it's on both of our feeds. But this is really dramatic. If you go to Certified MJ Radio, if you're listening right now, you haven't seen this cake, I'm telling you, it is going to knock your socks off. It is a cake that looks like a manatee. And it is, because the Cake Girl can make anything at a cake. So the first item is the manatee, which is wearing a pair of headphones. I said, hey, what if we do a manatee? Can you put headphones on the manatee? That's exactly what they did. You got to look at this cake. It's on my Instagram, Certified MJ Radio. Go to my IG, Certified MJ Radio. Andrew, did you put that post on As Heard on the MJ Morning Show? All right, so it's also, if you're not on Instagram, you can go to mjmorningshow.com. And then look for, right near the top, look for As Heard on the MJ Morning Show. It's a picture of all of us down in the lobby. And then it says As Heard on the MJ Morning Show. Just click on that, and then the link will be there. So if you're just on the regular web, you can just click on the link and see the manatee cake. And then if you go to the fourth post, you'll see the Cake Girl's, the back of her head and her ponytail. And she's wearing a pink, like, chef's top. Click on that video, and that's the cake being wheeled into the studio live at 8 o'clock yesterday morning. But just amazing. What was the response? For our early listeners, what was the response at your house when the kids, when Hudson and Hadley and Allison, your wife, saw this thing?
Yeah, I've never seen anybody get so excited over a cake. Of course, besides myself, yesterday when I first saw it, first question from the kids when they got home from school, where's the cake? We heard about the cake. What's going on with the cake?
How'd they hear about the cake? Because they're in school. Don't they get into school like 7:30, 7:40?
Hadley
Yeah.
has a computer at school, and she dips onto Instagram.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So
Oh.
she can get on at school?
So she logs onto my Fester Sucks Instagram,
Right.
because the kids know my
So
password.
she was checking my feed,
And she
certified MJ Radio.
Well, I
She's-
tagged you, so she would have seen that. If she's
Wow.
logging on as Fester Sucks, as soon as they were in here, I tagged you on that.
She saw a bunch of pictures of the cake, and she goes, "I saw it at school. All her friends at school saw it.
Wow.
None of her friends believed it was a cake."
Great. So I've been DMing with Hadley this whole time?
Yeah, if she's writing back,
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
That's great.
Yes. Why do you
I
think?
gotta unsend that video I sent you.
Yes.
Oh, my God. Froggy speaks. I thought you were a mute this morning.
No,
Well, you guys speak so much.
Well-
It's a little difficult to squeeze in.
Oh, get out of here.
no, that's
Yep.
The big question is, did you cut into this cake yesterday?
so.
You don't want to do it. I mean, it's so amazing. It's like, my God, I don't want to cut this cake.
It was surprisingly hard to cut into the cake, just for emotional reasons, because it's such a beautiful cake. But we did.
Where was the first cut? Did the kids instruct you on where they wanted you to cut the cake first?
I saved everything. I still have the first half. I have.
Did you bring cake for us?
Oh, it's in my freezer.
You didn't bring cake
Well,
for us? What are you,
I
out
wanna
of your
talk to-
mind?
I wanted to talk to Froggy and Roxanne
Oh, my
because
God.
we're seeing each other this weekend.
Oh, that's right.
I'm going to bring the head of the cake when I see you guys.
It'll be 5 days old by then.
It's in the freezer. It'll be fine.
Where was the first cut?
Right in the belly,
Oh, that
So, like,
hurts.
center of the cake?
center of the cake,
Gotcha.
down and over. Beautiful slices. Fantastic cake.
Oh, my
Listen,
God.
you think the cake looks good? The cake tasted
Yeah, and see,
amazing.
that's an issue. That's an issue with some of these cakes.
Yeah.
Some cake designer professionals, they make a great looking cake, but then you cut into the cake and it tastes like balsa wood or something. The cake girl makes these unbelievable cakes that also taste remarkably great. It was like with my cake when she built me my birthday cake back in January, and it was the whole like studio me behind the microphone diorama looking thing, which was also incredible. The cake was absolutely, she did a chocolate caramel inside. It was just fantastic. All right, just getting rolling, folks. If you haven't seen the cake, go to my Instagram, Certified MJ Radio, or go to mjmorningshow.com, click on As Heard on the MJ Morning Show, and take a look at this thing. If you don't follow me on Instagram, give me a follow. Certified MJ Radio. Busy show. Man, I got a couple of things where AI has gone wrong. I got a couple of AI bad stories. Artificial intelligence, we'll get into that. Also, for the first time ever, I will fly Spirit Airlines this weekend.
Oh, cool.
What could possibly go wrong? All right. we have a loaded show today, folks. Don't move. First, Pat and traffic. We're back in minutes. 105 MJ here with Fester and Froggy, Roxanne, Andrew, our producer, in the box, in the booth. 620. At any time, we could say, call up now to win the $1,000, but that was not it. So don't call now. It could happen at any moment. Hey, you want to hear something creepy? And what do you do? What do you do in this situation? I mean, it's a terrible accident. It's a tragedy. But then if you're the one who's part of the accident, the tragedy, you kind of put the kibosh on the other person's crap. You're trying to figure out what the hell I'm saying, right?
Yeah, this is a riddle.
It is. You're right. Ooh, good word. It's a riddle. Well, it won't be a riddle much longer because you know the band Train?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, the band Train. I mean, they had a bunch of big songs. I had even more so. This was an even dister. What happened with Train? Why am I like riddling you up good here with this tragedy happened and, it's a terrible story, but the demise of one individual, does it unfairly screw up someone else's life? Let me explain.
Was Train on a train that derailed?
No.
Oh.
One of the founding members of Train, Charlie Colin, and I got to be honest, I know the band Train. I don't know any of the band members'
Is he the lead
names.
singer?
Well,
Is he? I don't know. I have no idea. And he's right. You can't name one member of the band Train.
No.
yeah.
The famous guy is the lead singer. I can't.
And
think of
his name is?
We don't know.
Yeah.
Train conductor.
It's-
Most big bands, you know who the lead singer is.
Andrew just yelled in my ear, in my little earpiece.
What'd he say?
Patrick Monahan.
There you go.
See, that's the quality of people you're hanging
Yeah.
out with if you know the lead singer of Train.
Yeah, so this is just a weird story.
It's awful.
One of the founding members of Train fell in the shower at a friend's house and died.
Oh my
Jeez.
A
God!
freaking shower accident.
That's a
Listen,
freak accident.
What the hell? 58 years old.
I know a guy I used to work with who used to do press junkets with us, and he passed away from a hotel shower fall.
Well, look at Bob Saget.
Yeah.
Bob Saget
He
cracked
whacked
his
his
head.
head on something, right?
Yeah. Did they ever figure out where Bob Saget whacked his head?
They said it was the baseboard of the bed, but
Yeah,
then
that
the
makes
guy
no sense.
investigated it and it was like foam.
The headboard.
Yeah.
Yeah, the headboard.
Not the baseboard.
Yeah, the headboard.
Would be a little specific.
You know, I think to myself, especially every time I'm at a hotel shower, and if you use a lot of lotions, then you can get, I'm afraid someone's going to fall and get in a really bad accident. It's really slippery.
All right, here's the deal. Charlie Colin, one of Train's founding members, has died from what appears to be a tragic accident, this is according to TMZ. The musician's mother tells us Charlie passed away after he slipped and fell in the shower while house sitting for a friend in Brussels, Belgium.
I don't want to fall in Belgium.
But it was unclear exactly when he fell.
So he was there for a couple of days?
Think about this. Is the friend going to want to live in that house anymore knowing that your friend
Yeah.
died in the shower? I
No.
mean, Roxanne, you'd be all into the, woo, it's all haunted now.
Well,
and
I would be into I don't want to relive that horrible memory every time I walk past the bathroom.
What
to
instrument
move
did
out.
he play?
I don't know.
He was a guitarist.
He was a guitarist?
Oh, no.
I'm looking at
Oh.
a bunch of pictures of him holding guitars.
I thought he
Ah.
played the oboe.
I mean, if the song called for it, he could play an oboe.
You have no idea if that's the case.
He probably could. I mean, it's a string instrument, right?
The oboe?
Yeah. It's
No,
like-
the oboe is a
Boom, boom, boom,
oboe's a woodwind.
What am I
think.
thinking of?
I-
Like the big fat violin that you put down the floor.
That's a bass or a
That's a
viola.
cello. A cello.
You have a viola, cello, bass. All right, look up oboe. Is that a woodwind or am I talking out of my ass?
OBO?
Yeah.
OBO is a big violin.
O-B-O-E, I think.
It's a giant violin.
Is it oboe? O-B-O-E? I am correct on the spelling. Yeah, it's a woodwind. Look at
Wow.
Look at me.
Either Phil Spector over
I
here.
ought to be on Jeopardy. You know what? I even spelled it. I ought to be in the script spelling bee.
You should be.
That little seventh grade bastard that just won it.
Yeah.
I should have won that thing.
MJ and a Bunch of homeschooled Indian kids.
So apparently he moved to Brussels. He was teaching a music master class at some Brussels conservatory, and he was house sitting for a friend, and he slipped and fell. Well, it doesn't say slip. Well, it says fell.
He fell.
Yeah. So he did slip, but we don't know what he hit his head on. I mean, I'm just thinking accident or fall. You call Kemp Law.
I mean, you hit your head right.
Offices, Brussels.
I'm just always amazed at just, the human body is pretty resilient, but man, there are some freak things that can happen, like falling in a friend's shower, and then what happened? Did the friend come home like after days and the water was still running? What would that water bill be like?
It doesn't matter.
Would you be more concerned with your deceased friend on the shower floor or the fact that the water's been running for 3 days?
Okay, at the time it's your deceased friend, but then when the bill comes,
then you're like, son of a...
you have to call, Belgium Water and be like, hey, guys, my friend died in the shower for a week.
I mean, just think about that scenario. That's rough. Anyway, listen, condolences, rest in peace. Train founding member Charlie Colin after a freaking shower accident.
So what I do is I put towels on the floor in the hotel room all throughout the bathroom.
Well, he wasn't in a hotel. He was in a friend's house.
I know he wasn't.
But I see what you're saying. A lot of times those showers or tubs in the hotels it's almost like they've lubed it up with whatever that stuff was that Clark Griswold put on the bottom of that sled. Remember the rocket sled, and does he smash through Walmart? Was that where he
goes into a Walmart at the end eventually?
Yeah.
After going through making holes in snow mounds.
Did he go through a forest?
Oh, yeah.
Remember Clark Griswold did, that was Christmas Vacation, right?
Yeah.
With the special lube that his company was working on. And it was that slick stuff.
Yeah.
No, but seriously, I've been in some I've almost busted my butt in showers in hotels.
Yeah, especially if you have some drinks, forget about it. And also...
Well, of course you went there.
Yeah, of
so
course.
How many drunk hotel room showers have you taken? I've taken none. I imagine you've taken many drunk hotel showers?
I can't remember how many.
Oh.
Good.
I'm sure you've never had one, MJ,
Yeah.
I've
please.
never had a drunk hotel shower.
But then you haven't gone on any good vacations.
Okay.
Real.
Okay, so you're saying you got to get drunk to have a good time?
Hell yeah.
Yes. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, not really. Kidding.
Kidding, not kidding?
Yeah. But you know what else are in hotel bathrooms? Sharp edges, deadly edges. Like the little lip next to the shower is always like, if you hit your head on that, done. The counters, sharp as can be.
I was in a Holiday Inn Express one time, and they had razor wire in there. It was
That was
like
a shower
the
curtain.
stuff that's on the top of the fences outside of a prison.
Barbed wire.
Yeah.
Barbed wire shower curtain.
Yeah. That was your thing for a while. Cinnamon rolls in the morning and barbed wire shower curtains.
Jeez, it's 6:29 at the MJ Morning Show. Who wants to win $1,000? Should we do it right now? No, I did it right now, I think, yesterday, right?
Two days in a row you did it this time.
I did it earlier the last 2 days. Nah, I'm gonna drag it out just a little bit longer. And I'm also looking at a great pile of early morons in the news. $1,000. Part of $4,000 we'll give away today on this Friday. We got $1,000 here in the 6 o'clock hour, $1,000 in the 7 o'clock hour. Your chance to win $1,000 in the 8 o'clock hour, and another $1,000 in the 9 o'clock hour. So every hour, all day during the MJ Morning Show today, your chance to win. And the first opportunity will happen in minutes. Here on Q105, stand by. 6:40 at the MJ Morning Show. We have to, because of the constraints of the clock. We've got to give away the $1,000 in just a matter of moments, or I could do it right now. Yeah, let's do that. Let's give away the $1,000 right now. Let's go with caller number 70. Caller 70. 800-990-1047. That's 800-990-1047. If you'd like $1,000 right now, just be the 70th caller and know who won the $1,000 last. That would be in the 9 o'clock hour yesterday. Caller 70, know the last winner in the $40,000 MJ Morning Show Money Heist. Brought to you by the Kemp Law Group. Accident or fall, you call Kemp Law. Stacy Kemp and the team over there. So good luck, and we'll take the winner live as we've done every single winner thus far, proving to you that these are real people and real local folks. Only MJ Morning Show Q105 listeners are winning. It's not one of these national contests where people do actually win, yes. But this is local MJ Morning Show only, and we're giving away another $4,000 today. Andrew, let me know when you got caller 69, and I will pick up number 70 live on the air. All right, early morons in the news on the MJ Morning Show. Oh, boy, another cut-off male unit story.
Oh.
Yeah, this one out of Grand Junction. Yeah, police out in Colorado. They've arrested a 32-year-old woman, allegedly stabbed the dude and then cut off his Johnson.
So
Lovely,
you say another one. Aside from the famous one, is there an epidemic of?
You know what? I thought we had one in the last month or so.
We
Thought there was
brought
another
up
one. Yeah, we did.
old Bobbit a while ago, but
Yeah,
I'm not sure
yeah,
why.
Bobbit?
We brought up Bobbit because he lost his toes.
Oh,
That's right.
Oh,
Okay.
maybe that's it. Maybe
Yeah.
I'm confusing and conflating. I'm all scared and confused over here.
I don't think there's like a
Yeah.
rash of, wiener slashings going on in this nation.
So cops responded about 9 p.m., this is earlier this week, Tuesday, to the Wood Springs Suites. Is that like one of those extended stay hotel chains? I've never heard of the Wood Springs Suites.
Sounds nice.
I've heard. I mean, there's a bunch of those extended stay hotels. Anyway, they were called about an unresponsive man. The suspect told police that they were arguing when the argument escalated, and she stabbed him in the leg. She said that she was not trying to kill him, but admitted stabbing him because she was so angry. That's the way you vent. And then cut off his unit.
Oh, why?
She cut off his unit. So after she did that, she went to the supermarket, the city market, which, by the way, when the family and I are out in Vail, we shop at the city market. City market is owned by Kroger, same company. It's got a little more of a boutique-y kind of supermarket. But so she stabs the guy in the leg, cuts off his penis, and then goes shopping at city market.
That's awful.
Where she bought cucumbers and bananas.
No, she bought some rubbing alcohol and antibiotics.
That'll help.
And beer.
You're going to need it.
And beer, but she forgot the bandages.
Mm.
This is right out of the arrest affidavit. She claimed that she went to the store because the man did not seem to be in pain. Wait a minute. You stabbed him in the leg and cut off his wang?
I'm good.
And he's not in pain?
Actually, I feel pretty comfortable.
When the victim told her that he might die, she gave him ibuprofen, Gatorade, and greens.
What a caretaker.
Oh, greens? What would give him a handful of spinach? What?
Some kale.
Well, you gotta stay hydrated when your wiener gets cut off.
What do you say, kale?
Yeah.
Kale, spinach.
Just some vitamin K or something.
Nice big
Yeah.
bowl of collards.
My God. Then he became lifeless. Anyway, Shenting Guao is her name. Shenting Guao.
Was that Irish?
You know what? I think it's Polish.
Okay.
32 years old, being charged with second-degree murder because he died.
Blood loss?
My God. Second-degree murder, being held in the Mesa County detention, $1 million cash. She had a court date yesterday, so I didn't see an update on what happened, but I got to believe she's remaining to be detained. And I'm told to pick up line number 1 because that's going to be caller 70. Hi, good morning, MJ Morning Show.
Hi,
Hi.
this is MJ.
No, I'm MJ. You're MJ as well. Hi, MJ. How are you?
I want to confirm that you're MJ.
Oh, okay. You're asking if I'm MJ. I thought you said this is MJ, meaning you're MJ,
No.
and then it'd be MJ talking to MJ.
You made a statement.
No,
not a
no,
question.
my name is
You
John.
could take over, and it could still be the MJ Morning Show. All right. So what is your name?
My name is John.
John, where are you calling from this lovely Friday morning?
I'm calling from St. Petersburg.
Well, we are in St. Petersburg. Are you close to our studios?
Yeah, actually, I drive by there. I work at Raymond James at the Carillon Center, so I drive by you guys.
Hold on.
all
So
the time.
wait, you work for Raymond James? You're in the financial business?
Well, I'm in the education department of the home office.
Oh, I
I'm an
got you.
educator.
No, I just think it's kind of, you work for Raymond James, a financial institution, and you got a chance to maybe win $1,000. I just think that, it's kind of cool. All right. So,
Yeah, I certainly don't make as much as the advisors, so I could use it.
gotcha. All right. So your name is John, right?
Yes.
John, you're caller number 70.
Oh, awesome.
So you are the right number caller. You've broken through all the others, the thousands and thousands that were trying to get in at the same time as you.
I've
John,
been trying for 2 weeks.
you've been trying for 2 weeks.
Yeah, there was one day I got to, you guys were looking for caller 45. I was like 41.
Oh wow,
So close.
oh man, that was so close you could taste it, and then your dreams were ripped out from under you.
Dashed.
Yeah.
Yeah, your hopes
Hopefully I'm
were
remembering
dashed.
correctly this
Yeah.
time.
All right, John, you are the correct caller. John, can you
Okay.
tell me who won last in the 9 o'clock hour yesterday?
Was it Tammy?
Yes, it was.
Oh, awesome. I have my family here. They're excited.
You got it, John. You just won $1,000 from the MJ Morning Show and the Kemp Law Group.
Oh, that is awesome. Thank you, MJ. Thank you, crew, and thank you, Kemp Law Group.
Absolutely, John.
I just want to say real quick. I'm, the cliche. I'm a longtime listener, first time caller.
Wow, and first-time caller, and you got $1,000. That's a nice way to become a first-time caller. How
First
about
time
that?
winner.
That is.
Yeah, first-time
we're
caller.
planning a big summer camping trip, so that will certainly help.
All right.
nice.
Well, listen, I'm glad the $1,000 is going to work out well for you, John. Hold the phone, and
Okay.
Andrew is going to pick up the line and get all your information.
Okay, that's awesome. Thank you very
Hey,
much.
Thank you, John. Have a great weekend, buddy.
Yeah, you as well. Have a great day too.
Look at that. Works for Raymond James at Carillon. Just won $1,000. All right, Andrew, you got it, line one? All right, so there you go. John, just know his name for next hour. It's now, 6:48. We'll give away another $1,000 in the 7 o'clock hour, which starts in 12 minutes. So you could be the next winner. So we've got $3,000 more to give away during the course of the program. All right, another moron in the news here on the MJ Morning Show. Last day of school for many, and around the country, last day of school is coming up quickly, or it is here. There was an item, I can't remember if we talked about this, but a married teacher who was surprised by students on Good Morning America has now been sentenced for having relations with a student.
Yeah, I sent you this story. Crazy, right?
Oh, my
She
God.
got accolades, recognized on GMA, and now this.
Yeah. Arkansas teacher was once surprised on Good Morning America by her adoring students, has been sentenced to 13 years in prison for having sex with a 17-year-old student up to 30 times, including during a class trip to Washington, D.C.
Whoa.
Married mother Heather Hare, 33, ordered last week to serve 13 years in the federal sexual assault case, along with 20 years to be served concurrently in a county case in Arkansas. So it looks like she's going to be doing, 13 years in a Fed case, 20 years? So concurrently, so I guess she can utilize 13 of the 20 in one case. This is unbelievable. And she taught home ec. I didn't even know they called it home. Well, maybe in Arkansas they still call it home ec. I don't know.
Well, they teach you to bake cakes still?
Yeah, I mean, listen,
Yeah, your place in the home is a homemaker.
she was really.
You better make me dinner.
What the hell? Make sure you have the roast on the table when he comes home from the factory. Yeah.
Mother has her duties.
Did you take home ec in high school?
No, I didn't take home
I didn't
ec.
have it. I
I
didn't
took
have
it-
that option.
Middle school, and I did have to do that little egg where you carry the egg around in the basket and
Oh,
don't
God.
break
Are
it.
you
Like it's a baby?
serious?
Yes.
That's like the anti getting knocked up program.
Yeah.
All right, so
Yeah, that's
she
not home
That
ec.
class.
She
Oh,
taught home
okay.
economics, and she met her victim during his senior year and gave him her phone number. her Instagram and Snapchat, they started talking. She made headlines back in 2020, just 4 years ago. She was surprised on GMA on ABC Live by her students saying goodbye after her class was canceled during the pandemic.
Now they can do a special saying goodbye when she's going to jail.
Exactly. Have her
Yeah.
back on GMA. Exactly.
Bye, teacher.
That's it. That's what you call an early moron in the news right there. Unbelievable. Man, with all of these high-profile cases, why do teachers still try to hook up with students? I don't get it. All right. And, it's still, it appears to be, it's mostly female teachers and male students.
How many are never getting caught? If we're talking about this many getting caught, there's got to be 10 times as many going on that
Well,
never get
I would hope not. 6:51 at the MJ Morning Show, 7 o'clock hour, minutes away, and you're shot at $1,000 again, coming up in a bit. Hey, Froggy, your roof needs a repair. So is there like water streaming into your kitchen through the oven hood or something? Is that what Kim told me?
Yes, it's very annoying every time it rains.
But so how did your back porch, it's like the whole back porch roof needs to be repaired. How? What was it not done correctly in the first place?
It's just old and weathered, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, so it's just old and busted.
Yeah,
All right, there you go.
things happen.
So Westfall Roofing is going to be doing. Fester, you want me to take line one?
Well, yes, because
Is there a little confusion here?
I just want to be sure we're completely clear after doing a contest for 2 weeks. There's a little confusion.
All right, so line one is a bit confused, and you want me to unconfuse the person on line one.
I mean, we're here for customer service.
Okay. Can you put line one on hold so I can take line one?
There you go, there you go. There you go.
Fester's been in the studio for 3.5 years and does not know how to operate the equipment.
I really don't.
Fester does not know how to put a line on hold.
No.
All right, you just figured it out. Thank you very much.
Hopefully still
All
there.
right. Hi, good morning, MJ Morning Show. Who's this?
Hi, MJ. This is Ronnie. How you doing?
Hey, Ronnie, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Manatee County, Florida.
Well, fantastic. Would that be from, like, Bradenton, or are you where?
Absolutely.
Oh, you're in Bradenton. Well, very good.
right.
Yeah. Well, that's the biggest thing in Manatee County is Bradenton, so...
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
We got the great beaches here. We got a lot of nice scenic views. It's, it's like a little slice of paradise.
Yeah, you got Palmetto down there. I know that
That's
when
not where home is.
when I would drive through Palmetto, there was that seedy convenience store right near the red light where it just seemed like a lot of stuff was going down in that convenience store parking lot. What was that?
Yeah, there's a whole lot of everything
Was
going
that
on.
41 or whatever is what is that? Anyway, so Ronnie, you're calling. Now, Fester just explained to me. We're just coming back from our break here, and Fester was explaining to me that you buzzed in right at 7:00, and you said, "Hey, did I win?" And did you think that you had to be the first caller of the new hour to win the money? Is that what you thought?
Well, MJ, to tell you the truth, this is my first time like ever really calling in. I've been listening to you guys since I was in middle school.
Oh my God, that's
28.
fun.
Yeah, I'm 28 now, so it's been a trip with you guys. But yeah, no, it's the first time calling in. I wasn't really too sure how your guys' contests work, but I was actually I thought I'd take a gamble. I was actually really surprised to get through to you guys.
Yeah, because no one's calling now because we're not giving away the money. Now, when we give away the cash, or if I ask people to call in for, some kind of a, phone segment like, hey, what do you think of this? Or, hey, this, or, then the phones get all jammed up. But, yeah, you're the first caller of the 7 o'clock hour, but that's not how you win the contest. So the way to win the MJ Morning Show $40,000 money heist is you wait for me to tell you to call in, what number caller to be, and then you got to know the first name of the person that won last. So we just gave away the money, 14 minutes ago? So that's how it works. So keep listening, Ronnie, and I'm going to specifically tell you when to call in and what number caller you need to be.
Will do. I'll keep my ears posted.
All right, now I'm not going to paint the totally rosy picture here. I'm not going to blow smoke up your butt and tell you that it's going to be an easy breezy shot to get in. It's when I solicit for the next winner, most likely going to be hit with a busy signal. But listen, you just got to keep trying and get this. People are winning this. I'm not trying to. I don't want people to be jaded. I'm just going to say when we give away the money, a lot of people are calling in at once. Thousands and thousands and thousands of people around the area are calling in. So you just got through. I just don't want you to have like a false sense that, hey, I just called the MJ Morning Show and I got right through.
Piece of cake.
And it's going to be, a piece of the Cake Girl manatee cake to get back in.
He's from Manatee County.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
That's right.
Oh, hey, since you're from Manatee County, hey, Ronnie, did you see the manatee birthday cake that the Cake Girl made for Fester yesterday?
I did. It was pretty good, wasn't it?
Ronnie, damn right it was. Ronnie, do you follow me on Instagram?
I don't. I actually just got back into the whole social media thing and thought I'd give myself a mental break for a little bit.
That's a good idea. I got to
Good
be
for
honest.
you.
Ronnie, you bring up a very important point. I feel like I'm mentally damaged by social media.
Wait,
Tell
me about
who
it.
is this guy?
What?
This is Ronnie, a longtime listener, first-time caller who didn't know how our contest
I'll tell you
works.
what, you don't walk into the studio 3 minutes into a conversation and
Who
expect
is this guy just babbling?
That's MJ.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Me? Are you talking about me?
We all know
I
MJ.
just don't understand. Okay, all
All
right.
right. So, Ronnie, I wish I could take a mental health break from social media, but I kind of need it. But I'll tell you right now, when I give up radio, when I decide that I've had enough of this business and I walk away, hey, listen, I've already been doing this for 42 years. This is my 42nd. I started when I was 16.
Why don't you have it tattooed
wow.
on your arm like every other radio guy?
I have no tats. I'm never getting a tat unless I'm drugged and tattooed against my will and knowledge. All right,
Hey,
so
it's the first time for everything.
yeah,
That's
so-
right, Ronnie.
Well,
I like this guy.
That's great. Hey, first time for everything. Like, I'm flying Spirit Airlines for the first time in my life. After saying I would never fly Spirit Airlines, I'm actually flying Spirit Airlines later this weekend.
Yeah, what do you think of that,
Yeah.
Ronnie?
See what I mean?
Yeah. Look at this guy. See what I mean? I
All
told you.
right, listen.
I told you so. So, Ronnie, if you do activate or reactivate your Instagram account, give me a follow at Certified MJ Radio, all right?
Absolutely, sir.
All right, Ronnie, it's great to have you. What do you do for a living, Ronnie?
Oh, I work security down at the local hospital in town.
Oh, that's fantastic. And listen, your break from social media, did something happen to you? Did you have an incident?
Nothing in particular. Just there's a lot of BS just going on right now, and sometimes it's just good to put that on pause and just give yourself a break and kind of enjoy the moment that you're in right now, rather than 100 to 1 things happening all around you.
I'll tell you what, I think you're spouting some words of wisdom that I think that people are so engrossed in social media. You hear about people picking up their phones like 200-300 times a day, and
All right, listen, the MJ...
What is this, an interview?
Yeah,
You didn't
what?
give us a liner? Hey, this is Ronnie.
This guy just didn't know how our contest
Right.
worked, and now it's becoming the MJ and Ronnie podcast.
I'm having a nice conversation with Ronnie. What's the
Give him a
problem?
call later.
Yeah,
I'm
call him on your drive home.
spending time with a listener.
Well, you and Ronnie go to lunch or
Yeah,
something.
Ronnie,
All
thanks
right.
for calling, man. Good luck. Listen,
Yeah,
friend.
absolutely.
You got it, buddy.
Yeah, you
Thanks
guys
for the
can
life story.
do an IG detox together, MJ. You and Ronnie.
Hey, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Hey, Ronnie, are you planning a vacation anytime soon?
Oh, I want to say yes, but the answer's probably no.
Oh,
All right. Well, I was going to say, if you're planning a vacation, don't go to the Turks and Caicos. And if you work security, definitely don't have ammo in your luggage in the Turks and Caicos, okay? All right, I'm going to explain.
sure,
Ronnie,
sir.
have a great weekend. Turn up your radio. I'll explain, all right?
Absolutely. You as well, sir.
All right, good luck, Ronnie.
okay.
Thanks.
Bye, buddy.
Oh, my.
What, you got a problem with me spending some quality time with the kid?
Ronnie's now a correspondent to the MJ
Tired,
Morning Show.
Ronnie was listening to us since he was in middle school, and he's now 28 years old.
Ronnie's not the problem.
The conversation felt like it took 28 years.
What's the problem?
I mean, I don't normally see MJ hit it off that well with people.
Yeah, that was a connection.
He's my bestie now.
I've seen MJ meet
He's my-
hundreds of people
he's
for
my-
the first time.
He's my Bradenton bestie.
Yeah, you never hit it off that well
You know
with
what?
people.
I'm going to go hang with him at his security shift at the hospital.
Sounds fun.
All right, here we
Bring
go.
a lunch.
At the local hospital.
Moving along.
The one big hospital in Bradenton, could that be it?
I'm telling you right now, there needs to be a boycott on travel that Americans take to the Turks and Caicos. If the United States and our citizenry, if we put the economic kibosh on the Turks and Caicos, then maybe some of these terrible accidental stories can be resolved. And, you know, we mentioned this maybe, a couple of weeks ago about this dude facing 12 years, like a minimum mandatory of 12 years in prison because he had 2 bullets in his luggage that were accidentally left over from a hunting trip. And he gets caught in the Turks and Caicos with 2 bullets in his luggage. And now he's pleaded guilty and he faces 12 years. I think it's minimum 12 years. I don't know if the judges can be. And this dude is coming up for sentencing. Can you imagine? This guy's a firefighter from Virginia. But wait, there's more. Andrew just asked in my ear, where's our State Department? Trust me, they're working on this. In fact, there was a congressional delegation that this week went down to the Turks and Caicos and sat across from like their governor of the islands, and they got like nowhere. It was horrific.
Members of Congress went there?
Yeah.
Did they send Marjorie Taylor Greene?
Oh my God. No. So they.
She would have talked them to death.
Okay, we'll let them all out.
All right, fine. We quit. Here, just take them. Get
All
out of
right.
here.
So here's the deal. There are 5 Americans, and this is recently. What is going on? 5 Americans have been arrested recently for bringing ammunition accidentally into the Turks and Caicos. So one of these individuals is Tyler Wenrick, 31 years old, a paramedic from Virginia, pleaded guilty to 2 counts of ammunition because of 2 bullets. 2 counts. And he had it in his luggage. So he pleaded earlier this week, according to the Deputy Director of Public Prosecutions in the Turks and Caicos, which is, island chain down in the Caribbean. And I've been to the Turks and Caicos. I went scuba diving. I went on a scuba liveaboard boat 23 years ago, 24. So Turks and Caicos were nice. I was on a boat for a week. But, I mean, is this a nightmare? This guy has a wife. He has kids. Had 2 bullets in his luggage because he was on a previous hunting trip, and some of the bullets got. Listen, I have when I go shoot, I've got a couple of bags, and you think all the bullets are in the box. You take the boxes out, and a couple of stray bullets fell on the bottom underneath. I mean, I've had that happen to me. Better not go to the Turks and Caicos.
MJ, what about our TSA? They left from American airports, and they waited in that long line, and they took their shoes off, and they put their bag under the scanner, and our TSA let them leave with 2 bullets?
You know what? Every once in a while, Fester, you say something intelligent.
I did?
Yeah, that's a good point. No, that is a very good point.
Oh, I just said the intelligent thing?
Yeah, so he was caught back in April with just 2 9mm rounds in his bag. I don't know if 9mm rounds are the best hunting rounds, but anyway, he was. Listen to this. It wasn't even at their airport. He was at a security checkpoint after he was getting back on a Royal Caribbean cruise ship following an excursion they did on shore from the cruise ship. He said it was an honest mistake. This is a father, a husband, and he could face a dozen years behind bars. He's going to be sentenced on the 28th, so that's next week. We got to follow this story. And there are 4 other Americans that are in jail in the Turks and Caicos right now with similar situations of accidentally having some ammo in their luggage. There was a coalition, a mission, a couple of congressmen went down, and it was like talking to a wall. I saw the picture. They had a congressional delegation on one side of the table. You had the Turks and Caicos officials on the other side, and you got the congressional delegation trying to talk some sense. Hey, these are accidental cases. This guy's a paramedic. He helps people all day long. Are you going to put him in a Turks and Caicos hellhole jail for 12 years?
Fester, you really did bring up a good point. Yeah.
I sure did.
Yeah, so why they had to fly to Turks and Caicos to get? Wait a sec. Oh no.
They took a cruise?
No. Wait a sec. Guess what?
What?
Maybe they drove from Virginia down to Miami or Fort Lauderdale to get on the cruise ship.
Okay, fine.
Maybe he didn't go through TSA. Maybe they didn't fly in the U.S. to get to the Turks and Caicos. I'm sure they
went through the ship security.
They boarded the ship probably here in Florida.
Oh yeah.
Doesn't your luggage get scanned? I don't know,
On the ship?
On a ship?
I think they do have. I know you walk through a metal detector getting on ships these days. I don't know if they scan all the luggage.
All right.
Anyway.
Well, TSA isn't perfect.
Well, let me tell you.
Doug just sent me a picture of him, and he came back from the Bahamas, and they didn't find that can of ginger ale in his bag.
Yeah, they didn't find the chainsaw and machete that he had as well. All right, so listen. I'm telling you right now, we ought to just boycott the Turks and Caicos. I mean, America ought to send a message, and no American ought to spend a dime there until they let these folks go. I'm sorry. It's accidental. There was no intent here. Hit them with a tough fine. Maybe 30 days or time served in a Turks and Caicos prison. But if he's convicted and he faces 12 years, a paramedic from Virginia for 2 stray bullets in the bottom of his luggage, that's where the whole United States ought to say that we are not spending a dime or going to the Turks and Caicos.
Revolt.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. All right, 7:15 at the MJ Morning Show. We start. Is that a nightmare or what?
Sounds like a movie.
It is. All right, we start in an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ next. Hey, I've got a couple of AI fails. Artificial intelligence. So Google, have you noticed that there's like this AI-powered little thing on Google now when you do certain searches?
Yeah.
They're using a new AI algorithm to return searches. There are 2 brutal AI idiot mistakes. Yeah, artificial intelligence supposed to be that smart? No, it's not. So I'll explain coming up next. Also, my first time ever on Spirit Airlines, and I found a story, 15 things that travelers should know before flying Spirit for the first time. And that's going to be me this weekend. So hang on. And that's just scratching the surface. Plus $1,000. We'll give it away next in the next segment because, hey, I got to give it away before 8 o'clock. It's all on the way here on the MJ Morning Show on Q105. Stand by. MJ Morning Show on Q105, rolling up on 7:28. Yeah, running a few minutes late. However, don't fret. You still get over an hour and 20 minutes. I give it to you on the back end, folks. Welcome, the Friday edition of the MJ Morning Show, and another $1,000 on the way in minutes. Just keep listening. I'll tell you exactly when to phone in for the next $1,000. It'll happen sometime. Well, it's 7:28, so it's got to happen within the next 32 minutes because it has to happen before 8, because then we give away another $1,000 in the 8 o'clock hour, then another $1,000 in the 9 o'clock hour. Speaking of 9, Dennis Phillips, Mr. Suspenders from ABC Action News, Chief Meteorologist Dennis Phillips will join us live at 9 a.m. to kind of make heads or tails out of that whole fear factor NOAA hurricane forecast yesterday. You know, already earlier, like a month or two ago, it was already predicted that it was going to be an above-average active season, but then NOAA came out, and it just seems like the fear factor was juiced up even more. 17 to 25 total name storms, and the high-intensity storms, 4 to 7 major hurricanes, meaning Category 3, 4, or 5. So let's talk to Dennis Phillips. Remember, he's got rule number 7, don't freak out unless he freaks out.
Yeah, I'm going to ask him, is this just clickbait?
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. So, listen, we all need to be cognizant of hurricane season, which starts in a week, starts June 1st. But let's kind of get to the bottom. But yesterday was like an episode of Fear Factor, man. It was, and then all the news outlets, all the new, the cable news outlets, local news, everyone's, the forecast, the hurricane, it's getting dire, it's getting worse. All right, let's get to the bottom of it all. We'll talk to Dennis Phillips, ABC Action News, at 9 o'clock this morning live. So make sure you're with us at 9 o'clock this morning. We have a couple of dramatic artificial intelligence fails. I got a couple issues with Google right now.
Oh, I have another story. When you get through your 2 fails, I have something to add that happened recently.
I have a personal Google problem, and I can't figure it out. I think Google's screwing with me. I think I'll tell you why. I think Google is messing with me.
They probably are.
And I'll tell you why in just a matter of moments. Maybe someone can offer some advice. So here are 2 artificial intelligence fails. If you search on Google and you get the quick return paragraph on top of your search, because when you do searches, sometimes you'll just get all the different links all in a row. But more and more, you're getting kind of a culled or a curated, that's a better word. You're kind of getting a curated paragraph with sort of the, I'm talking
like a little highlight,
right,
or clipped from a previous news story.
Exactly.
Yes.
But look carefully when you do a search. Look for at the very top this little like a star kind of symbol or whatever, like a little star, and it says AI overview. And that is the Google new artificial intelligence search. It'll say AI overview. And this is the algorithm using their artificial intelligence searching process. But there have been some massive fails recently because AI, it can't determine, I guess, what's a joke and what's real in some cases. For instance, I've got 2 examples. Apparently, in the workout, bodybuilding, weightlifting world, there's a joke about a squat plug.
What?
Oh, no.
Froggy, you know what a squat plug is?
Well, I can imagine.
If you're doing a squat with like heavy weight on a barbell, there's a joke about putting a plug in your butt. So when you go, to do your lift, that stuff doesn't fly out.
Yeah, you keep it all in you. Yeah, sure.
It's a joke.
It's only a joke, people.
But guess what?
What?
Google returned some AI advice about make sure you have a squat plug.
It says what was typed into Google is what is a squat plug?
Right. And then it returned a squat plug is a device that helps keep the glutes tight while squatting. It has a curved shape and a wide range of motion, allowing the user to bend at various angles. Some say squat plugs are commonplace at the elite level of weightlifting and are necessary for those who want to lift more than 600 pounds. So essentially, it's,
how many accidents happened for this to be invented?
Well, hold on. It's all a joke.
but it's a joke.
Oh, okay.
It's all a
Take
joke. It's a weightlifting, bodybuilding like known joke. Oh, make sure you got your squat plug so it keeps your stuff inside if you're lifting 600 pounds.
MJ.
So
Sounds like it might go the wrong way.
And then if you look, Google returns the first image.
Yes, they return the first image next to the and what it is it's a picture of the plug, and
It's a plug.
it's a plug, all right. It's something you'd find in an adult store.
Yeah,
You don't need to say,
What happened to the one that my neighbor? Did you keep that bastard?
did I keep that? Yes. Hello.
I've been wondering where that went.
I've named it.
That's right, Froggy.
I got accidentally mailed one.
Yeah, Amazon dropped off a package at the wrong house. It was supposed to go to a neighbor's house, and the package was dropped off at Froggy's house. And Kim opens up the box. Listen, you get a package, you don't always look at the label. I mean, it's on your porch. You think it's your Amazon.
Well, the first thing we saw was a strawberry lube, remember?
There was strawberry lube.
And I was like, oh, what could this other thing be?
And then there was a plug.
Oh.
There was a plug in there.
Oh,
Yeah,
the
yeah, no,
infestor stole it.
All right, so that is the first AI fail with Google's new AI overview. Again, you do a Google search, look to see if it gives you sort of a paragraph, an excerpt from something, and look for the little indicator. It'll say AI overview. So there we go. AI fail, picking up on a joke, not knowing that this was not real, and Google AI offering this as real advice. Are you ready for the second one?
Please.
Yeah.
Second fail. And this also came from a Reddit discussion. And this is like a joke answer that Google's new AI overview tool, and I've noticed this over maybe the last month. This is really kind of new.
Yeah.
Where it says AI overview when your search results are returned. And there was a question about cheese not sticking to pizza enough, that the cheese is kind of sliding off. And there was a joke. Again, this came from Reddit. Has everything. The Reddit and all the subreddits, whatever topic you can imagine. There's a whole Tampa Reddit or a Reddit. There's a whole, Tampa Bay area Reddit, where local things are discussed. Whatever you can think of, it's being discussed on the Reddit website. So this, I don't know if there's a pizza Reddit, a food Reddit, Italian food Reddit, whatever. And the question was, how do you get your cheese to stick to your pizza better? And somebody joked around in the Reddit thread to add 1/8 of a cup of non-toxic glue like Elmer's to the sauce to give it more tackiness, and your glue will stick. Guess what? Google's AI returned that as a real result, that if you want your cheese to stick to your pizza better, just put glue in the tomato sauce.
Okay, is everybody paying attention? What does AI not have? AI does not have a sense of humor. That is a human trait. You're not going to be able.
It's common sense.
Or common sense.
Or being able to detect a sense of humor.
Right.
Or you know what? Sarcasm or
No.
facetiousness.
Or nuances in communication.
Yeah.
Not at all.
AI is supposed to be so smart. AI is an idiot in these two cases.
Artificial idiots.
Yes, there you have it. I just thought those two things were very funny.
You know how we were talking the other day, MJ, about we did the little thing on Microsoft Word and we typed in certain phrases and Microsoft Word didn't like it.
It hasn't happened to me.
Well, I say we collectively because we do a show together. I typed in phrases.
You did, yeah. Be specific because you discovered this because you're using, I guess, a newer version or the newest version of Word.
Yes.
And it's like offering suggestions that you're not being politically correct, or
Yes.
you've got instead of word, you've got woke.
Yeah, I mean,
New Microsoft woke.
they pointed out words that Roxanne typed that might be offensive to some people.
Right. Inclusive. They have the inclusivity editor, which pointed out that I used black and white. I used black and white to describe wallpaper. And they said you might want to use another term aside from black and white. This is offensive to people. And then I used right-hand man. And they said you might want to use something like person you can count on, because the right-hand man is offensive and not inclusive.
Unbelievable.
It's insane. But let me tell you something.
Yeah.
Microsoft, have you heard about their new feature? This is out. Everybody's talking about it right now. Recall. Microsoft's new
Yeah.
AI-powered computer
Yep.
history feature.
Where-
Recall.
It keeps track of everything you've done on your computer. But I believe you have to be using, like, I use Firefox. I like the Firefox browser the best. I've been using it for maybe 20 years. I've been using it for a long time. I believe for the new Microsoft Recall feature, where it tracks and remembers everything you do and search for on your computer.
And type in a Word document.
But I believe that you have to be using Microsoft Edge. You got to be using the Microsoft browser, and I don't. So I don't use their browser, so I don't think this applies to me.
Yeah, but a lot of people do use
Yeah.
it. It's
well,
just a unique
listen,
feature.
absolutely. I've got a question for our listeners. How old is the car that you're driving right now? All right, don't call for the money. Do not call for the $1,000. That's going to happen in just a bit. I will be very clear to tell you when to call in for the $1,000 with the $40,000 MJ Morning Show Money Heist, brought to you by the Kemp Law Group. We'll give away the $1,000 in a bit. First, though, I've got a question. MJ Morning Show listeners, call us now. How old is the car that you're driving? I just want to do some quick market research, and there's a reason why.
What, for MJ Blue Book?
No, I just saw something very interesting about vehicles operating on the roads here in the U.S., and I just need, and I'll make it all clear in a second. The first thing I need is to find out how old is the car that you're driving right now. Call us. 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. So fire up the phones. Very simple. You're driving a car, a truck, an SUV. How old is the vehicle that you're driving right now? Call us up. Every line is ringing. You know, I don't even need them to be screened. Well, unless I'm sure some of these people are calling for the money when I said, don't call for the money
We'll
yet.
find out quickly.
All right, 800-990-1047 is how you get in. How old is the vehicle? All right, let me grab the first line here, and I'll make it very clear in a second on what I'm getting at here. Drew in Clearwater. Drew, hi, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Welcome.
Hi, good morning.
Drew, how old is your current vehicle?
It's a 2004.
All right, so that makes your car 20 years old.
Yes.
All right, 20 model years old. All right, Drew, thank you. I really appreciate you calling in. Now, keep listening. There's a reason why I'm asking this question, and I'll make it clear in just a second. Have a great weekend. Troy is next. Troy, how old is the car that you're driving?
It's about a year and a half. It's a 23.
All right, so your car is a year and a half old. What kind of car is it, by the way?
Honda Pilot.
All right, very good. Thanks for calling in, Troy. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Pablo, how old is the car that you're driving?
2013 Toyota Camry.
All right, so that's going to make it 11 years old.
Yes.
All right,
Okay.
give or take. All right, thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. Debbie is next. Debbie, how old is the car that you're driving?
It's very old. 1998.
1998?
Yes.
Oh, my God. So what is that? That is what, 26 years old?
Yeah, it was left to me by my ex-husband. He died.
Well, yeah, all right.
What
Sounds
is it, like a Crown Vic?
it's an Olds 98.
Old, not
From
that far
98.
off. Yeah, not that
Yeah.
far off.
What kind of car is it?
It's a Dodge Dakota truck.
Wow, from 1998. All right, I got you down. 26 years old. Thank you. Cindy is next. Cindy, how old is the vehicle that you're driving right now?
1998 Toyota Avalon.
Holy, 1998?
Yes.
All right, so again,
That's when I graduated from high school.
that's another 26-year-old car.
Are callers predisposed to call in if they have an older car?
No,
The way
no,
you phrased the question, how old is your car? I think people who drive older cars are more motivated to call.
Listen, the second call was a year and a half old. It was almost a new car.
But the other 6 have been really old.
Well, these are random samples.
I know.
Again, I want all ages. Whatever the age, a random sampling of MJ Morning Show listeners, how old is the vehicle that you're driving right now? Jody is next. Hey, Jody, how old is your car?
It's a 2018 Jeep Wrangler.
All right, 2018 Jeep Wrangler. Do you have all the ducks on the?
I was just going to ask that.
Do you have all the ducks on the windshield?
Yes.
Of course.
How many? You got like 40 or 50 of them?
I have to take them out. So I get too many of them.
That's a sign you're in the Illuminati.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. All right. So you said you had a 2018?
Yes.
All right. So your car is what? 6 years old. All right. 6 years. Thank you. Let me grab James. James, how old, James, is the vehicle that you have?
It is 4 years old.
All right. 4 years. Thank you, James. Let's grab Pat.
Well, that's a blunt answer.
Pat, how old is the car you're driving?
I'm driving a 13 Prius.
All right, so that's going to be 11 years old if it's a 2013. Thank you, Pat. Everyone, keep listening. I'm going to tell you why. I'm asking the question. Jennifer, how old is the car you're driving, Jen?
I have a 2005 Saturn Ion, and hubby has a 2014 Honda Civic.
All right, I'm just going to go with your car.
Okay.
So you're 2005, so what is that, 19 years old?
Yep.
All right. Thank you. Keep listening. I'll tell you why I'm asking. Look, every line is jammed here. This is some good market research here, Fester. I think this is good empirical data that we're collecting.
Okay.
Yeah. Jill, how old is the car you're driving?
It's a 2005 RAV4 with 350,000 miles.
Oh, my God. All right. 19 years again. You know what?
Runs great.
Thank you, Jill. I appreciate it. Roxanne!
Never do that.
No,
We don't do that.
not you, Roxanne. It's another Roxanne. Hey, Roxanne.
It's the other Roxanne.
Roxanne, say hi to Roxanne.
Hi, Roxanne.
Hi, Roxanne. That was fun.
Yeah.
People always sing that to you, don't they?
Yeah, who
never,
had it?
but it never gets old. It's so cute.
Never happens.
It always
never ever
gets
happens.
Who had it first? Roxanne, what year were you born in?
Oh, come on.
I was born in 77.
Rude.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, it's so rude to ask a woman their age.
Which Roxanne's older?
Let's just call it horseshoes and hand grenades, all right?
All right. Roxanne, how old is the car that you're driving?
I told Andrew 11, but it's actually 12.
That's okay. All right. So 12 years old on your, and what do you drive?
A Toyota Camry hybrid.
All right. Thank you. 12 years old. Have a great weekend.
Yeah.
All right. Andrew, did you stop answering calls?
He's done. He's catching his
Yeah,
breath.
he just
Every line's
every
ringing.
line is ringing. He just stopped screening.
How many more of these calls he going to take?
Hi. Good morning, MJ Morning Show. Who's this?
Hi, this is Diane.
Diane, how old is the car you're driving?
It's a 2008 BMW, and it's broke down, which is why I need to win that $1,000.
Oh, really?
That's not this
All
concept.
right. So 2008 makes it what? 16 years old?
16 years old.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. Keep listening. We'll give away the grand in a
God
few
bless.
minutes. Let's grab. All right. I'll take a few more here. Maria, how old is the car you're driving?
So my everyday driver is 3 years old, and then I have a 2011 Ford F-150 that I use for just going out on weekends.
All right. Listen, I'll go with that. So you said 2011?
Yes.
All right. So that's 13 years old. Thank you. Keep listening. Petra, how old is the vehicle that you're driving?
I'm driving it's new to me, 2012 Impala.
Okay. We'll call.
Because I just wrecked mine.
Ooh, all right. We'll call your car now. 12 years old. How old was the car you just wrecked?
It was an '09.
And was it your fault or somebody else's fault?
That one was my fault, I think.
I hope
think.
that.
I'm not quite sure.
Well, hold on. How do you not know if you're in a car wreck if it's your fault or not?
It was just a weird situation. I was getting ready to change lanes, and as I came back around with my head, after I'm checking on my blind spot, as soon as I turned my head back around, I just smashed into something.
Oh, geez.
And the only thing I saw was the hood of my car in my face. So
Oh, my God.
I have no
Well,
idea. I don't know where it came from.
I hope they don't call Kemp Law on you. Well, you know.
No.
All right. Thank you. I got your number down. All right, Andrew, I'm just going to clear the board here, then we'll move on. Phones have exploded. Chris, how old is the car you're driving?
2002 Chevy Avalanche.
All right, so 22 years old. All right, thank you.
Ooh, that plastic must be looking good.
Yeah, the Avalanche. That's what that Gilgo Beach killer was driving.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Avalanche. All right, Miguel. Miguel, how old is the car you're driving?
The Jeep is 2011 and the Audi's are 2007.
All right, so I'll go with the 2011. So 2011 puts you at what, 13 years old.
13 years.
All right, buddy. Thanks for the call. Michael, three more. Michael, Brandon, and JC. Michael, how old is the car that you're driving, Mike?
2014 because they wrecked the 2011 in the car wash.
What?
Sure did.
The car wash totaled your car?
They peeled the whole side of it off.
Oh, my God.
Oh, wow.
I don't think.
How?
I think the car's supposed to look better when you go to the car wash.
How do they peel the side of your car off?
Oh, my God.
I've been to a bunch of
It's
car
a
washes.
big Toyota Tundra, they're hard to turn, and the guy just hit the...
Oh, wait a sec. I know where he went. He went to the place up on US 19, Can Opener Carl's Car Wash.
Yep. Nice.
Yeah, that's
There's
right.
no Toyota in Tampa Bay.
Thank you,
great.
buddy. All right, two more calls. Brandon, how old is the car you're driving?
It's a 2000 Honda Accord.
2000.
Nice.
Yes, sir.
All right, 24 years old. Thank you, buddy.
Oh, that's
And
a good car.
Every line is ringing still. Last call, though. JC, and then I'm going to tell you why I'm asking this question. JC, how old is your car?
It's a 2023 Veterans Ford Ranger.
Oh, that's fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you, Jason.
Wow.
Thank you for patronizing Veterans Ford and MJ Morning Show sponsor. I appreciate it. So you said 2023, right?
Yes.
All right, it's just a year old. Thank you, buddy. All right, so, of course, you want a Ford, folks, go to Veterans Ford. You will not get a better deal at any Ford dealer in town if you tell them you want the MJ deal. And they have this weekend at Veterans Ford, little bonus spot here. You'll get up to 40% off all pre-owned. They want to blow out their pre-owned inventory up to 40% off this weekend. It ends Monday, close of business. Veterans Ford. All right, the reason why I asked this, let me go down the list here. Age of our listeners' cars. We just took a boatload of calls. 20,
Yeah, you did.
20, year and a half, 11, 26, 26, 6, 4, 11, 19, 19, 12, 16, 13, 12, 22, 13, 24, and the last call was just a year-old Veterans Ford.
Okay. It's
All
a
right.
lot.
The reason why I'm asking this question,
Ooh, why?
the average age of vehicles operating in the United States has hit an all-time high. And our calls, I think, just demoed that. 12.6 years now. The average car on the roads in the United States is 12.6 years. That's old.
Yeah.
And then here we've had a bunch of listeners with 19 and 20 years. We had some 1.5s, 1 year old. We didn't get any calls. Hey, I just got the car last week. My car's a week old. But I thought that was an amazing number. The average age. So when you drive around, I guess be cognizant, be conscious, and kind of take notice. Are you seeing cars, for the most part, that are on average 12 and a half years old?
I think there's a lot of cars, MJ, a lot of brands, a lot of makes where you cannot really tell a difference from the outside between a 2011 and like a 2016. Just those years, a lot of these smaller SUVs like the Ford Escape type size, there's so many of them, you can't put a year on them just by driving by.
Well, there are subtleties, they change.
If you get up on them and you
there
really
are
inspect
changes.
them. But
yeah,
driving by at 60 miles an hour, you can't tell.
All right, 7:51 at the MJ Morning Show. So time-wise, I got to give away the $1,000 right now. Look, the phones are still ringing on the auto. Unless they're calling now because they know that I got to squeeze this in right now because I got to give away the grand before the 7 o'clock hour ends.
What if the winner just says, "Yep. I drive a 2008 Toyota Corolla. I love it."
Let's go. It is 7:51. Time to give away the $1,000. Do you know who won the 1,000 last hour? Do you know their first name? If you do, be the 58th caller right now. Caller 58. 800-990-1047. Let's go. Fire up the phones. 800-990-1047. Be the 58th caller. Know who won last hour, and you'll win the next $1,000 courtesy of the Kemp Law Group. Accident or fall, you call Kemp Law. So Andrew is screening away. He'll let us know when he has caller number 58. So good luck. You know what time it is now? Time for... Yeah.
love that show.
So fun.
Yeah, it's time for Wheel of Fortune.
Ryan Seacrest still hasn't started, by the way.
Yeah,
no,
I
because
noticed that.
Pat retires at the end of the season, dude.
It just feels like it's been like 2 years.
the
Yeah, it
new-
feels like we talked about that a while ago.
The new season starts in September. That's when hey, Ryan Seacrest. Mr.
I'm not sure I'm going to be. I'll watch it every night.
Yeah, you gonna watch it with Ryan Seacrest?
It's going to be tough.
Yeah.
He might be good. I don't know.
It's now Wheel of Misfortune.
I never would have thought Ken Jennings would be as good as he is.
Ken Jennings slays Jeopardy.
He's so good.
Yeah, he does a good job, actually.
All right, so Wheel of Fortune ends in June 2024.
Yeah, but then they repeat all summer
right.
and then the new season will start in September in the syndicated Wheel of Fortune. Reason why I'm bringing up is because of this. So in the beginning, I don't watch Wheel of Fortune much, and I know they've changed things over the years, but don't they start Wheel of Fortune now with like the toss-up where they just illuminate like letters and then the contestants have to buzz in and just guess it without spinning the wheel?
Yeah,
right?
I think you're right. They just throw out the
it's
letters.
like a category, and then there's like 3 different ones.
Hold on, you watch it every night. Am I right or wrong?
You're right, and don't talk to me that way.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Sorry.
It's okay.
All right.
Very sensitive. He's a Wheel of Fortune watcher.
very
I mean, I
sensitive.
love it, but it always starts with, all right, let's do the opening category or whatever it's called.
Listen to this.
Everybody grab those devices. Let's do it. Our first toss-up is worth $1,000. Category is phrase, and off we go. Tavares.
Right in the butt.
No.
Wait, what?
Blake.
This is the best.
Yeah, that's it. I think, yeah.
The first guy
That would be like
buzzes
me.
in and says, right in the butt. What?
That's a great guess.
What the hell?
What's on?
I mean, hold
What's
on.
on his mind?
If you had the best, the B, and then the 4 letters, I mean, I would think butt before I would think best. What letters were available?
Let me give you. So the first were blank. So it's blank, 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 blank. Then it was an I and a blank, a T and a blank, E, and then B blank blank T exclamation point. And the guy says, and I think I'm missing. I think I'm missing one blank in the first one. But the guy says right in the butt.
So there were 3 letters exposed?
4. Well, 1, 2, 3, 5. There were 5 letters exposed. And
it's a family show, sir.
I'll play it again.
Everybody grab those devices. Let's do it. Our first toss-up is worth $1,000. Category is phrase, and off we go. Tavares.
Right in the butt.
No. Blake.
This is the best.
Yeah, that's it, I think. Yeah. Much better.
All right, so no, I didn't miss one. It was only 4. The first word was only 4, not 5. He said right, R-I-G-H-T, which is 5. R-I-G-H-T is 5. So it's this is the best. And this guy says right. Did you hear who said what? Did you hear there's a woman in there that goes what?
Everybody grab those
one more time.
devices. Let's do it. Our first toss-up is worth $1,000. Category is phrase, and off we go. Tavares.
Right in the butt.
Yeah, one of the other contestants said that. But you know what's funny is
That's quite a crowd pop.
the category is phrase. Like, is that a phrase? Right in the butt.
Right in
the butt.
I mean,
is that a phrase?
I'm looking at the I then space, then the T space E. That's obviously the I space is in the B space T in the butt. I see that perfectly. He got the right wrong. If he would have went with goes, then
Or
he would
goes in the butt.
Yeah.
Or let's.
No, that's no. I don't know.
Well,
But still,
Or
kind of.
give me an apostrophe.
doing, D-O-I-N, doing the butt.
Work it,
Right, that
doing
works.
the butt.
That works.
Do it.
Wow.
This apparently was last night.
Yes.
I think this was
I
last
missed
night's
it last night.
night's
Damn it.
episode. You start the show with Right in the butt?
What would Ryan Seacrest have said?
Good for Tavares taking his shot.
I agree. I mean, wrong answer.
Oh, my
You
God.
want to talk about a guy who's internet famous forever. Good for him.
Yeah.
Folks, I am flying Spirit Airlines this weekend for the first time ever. And I'll explain coming up. First, so let me grab caller 58. Hi, good morning, MJ Morning Show. Who's this? Hello?
Hello.
Yes, hello. Who am I speaking with?
Becky.
Becky, where are you calling from?
Lakeland.
Becky, you are caller 58.
Ooh.
Becky, would you like to win $1,000 in cash?
You know it.
Becky, you are caller 58. You're the right caller. Can you tell me who won the $1,000 last hour?
How about John?
John would be correct.
Yay.
All right. Becky, congratulations. You got $1,000, all courtesy of the Kemp Law Group. Of course, this is the $40,000 MJ Morning Show Money Heist, and you got the latest grand. And again, your name is Becky, correct?
It is.
That is Becky.
That is it.
All right, Becky, congratulations. Latest $1,000 winner. I'm going to put you on hold. Andrew is going to give you all the information, all right?
Thank you.
Thank you for listening, Becky. All right, Andrew, grab her. She's on line 2. All right, another shot. It's now 7:59, folks. We're a minute away from 8 o'clock. When the 8 o'clock hour starts, got another chance to win another $1,000, and then another grand in the 9 o'clock hour. The $40,000 MJ Morning Show Money Heist. Giving away 40 grand over the last 2 weeks. The first week was brought to you by Lucan's Wine and Spirits. You know, for your weekend, you need beer, wine, spirits. Go to Lucan's, local family-run operation, local company. Lucan's has locations all over the Tampa Bay area. And, of course, accident or fall, you call Kemp Law. Bringing you this week's Money Heist. $40,000. No one's doing this. One of the morning shows giving away $40,000 to local listeners. Local MJ Morning Show Q105 listeners only. Not a national contest. This is local only. We've got another $2 grand to give away before we shut things down today. All right, I mentioned I'm flying Spirit Airlines this weekend. I never thought this was going to happen. Folks, I'm telling you right now, this would be the furthest thing from my mind that I would actually fly Spirit. Now, I'm going to fly in and see my parents. My dad's, almost 82. He's slowing down, so I need to make more frequent trips over. And, my dad's had some better days. I mean, he's still gets around, gets out. But
he's an old man. It's okay. Yeah.
It's hard to believe that, my dad's, almost 82. So I'm flying over, and it turned out I'm just flying over for the day. I'm flying over, in the morning, and then I'm going to stay overnight and fly back first thing the next morning over the weekend. And I got a great fare. I was checking other airlines, and I've flown Silver Airways over there before. They use the turboprops, and I had a good experience on Silver. But it turned out that I could get the best deal on Spirit, flying Tampa International to Fort Lauderdale, and then Fort Lauderdale back to Tampa. And I'm paying $59 each way. $59. And I decided, you know what? I'm going all in on. I'm going full Spirit. So I guess if you go full Spirit, then you buy a $59 ticket, but by the time they upcharge you for everything, it's like $350 or something. No. Seriously, I'm at $59, and that's it each way, because I did not get snookered into, pick your seat for an additional $38 or $46. No, thank you. I'll just take my chances. I'll spin the Spirit wheel, and wherever, because they're going to, when I check in, I'll randomly be assigned a seat. And guess if it's a middle seat, guess what? For a 42-minute flight or whatever the heck it is to Fort Lauderdale, I'll just deal with it, all right? But I read something that you can game the system. That Spirit, if you don't pick your seat, Spirit fills the plane, the computer fills it from the back forward. So 24 hours out, I should not rush to check in. I should wait. I should look at the seats available and watch it start filling up from the rear, and then go ahead and check in as late as I can, and then get a seat closer up. I might still get a middle seat.
You have a lot more time on your hands than I knew.
So hang on. And then luggage-wise, man, I'll tell you what, Spirit is bombing my email box. It's like, hey, pick your seat now. Hey, you want your seat? Pick your seat. I'm getting like that every hour. And then luggage. Hey, if you have no luggage checked, if you do your luggage now, it's going to be cheaper. Because isn't Spirit the airline that if you have a bag that's too big at the gate, they'll charge you $100 for your bag?
Yeah.
I think, Spirit is one of the airlines that does that. So I have no luggage. I have a carry bag. I'm going to have a little satchel. So it fully fits under the seat. It's not a carry-on. It's a personal item size. I'm going for 24 hours. So I don't want to give them any more than $59 each way. So that's the full Spirit experience. But I found this story, 15 things travelers should know before flying Spirit Airlines for the first time. And I'm about to catch the Spirit on Spirit Airlines. I'm about to go, man, I'm immersing myself in ULC. Sorry, it's ULCC. You know what that stands for?
What?
A ULCC is an ultra low-cost carrier.
I think you should be on the lookout for the most interesting outfit on your flight and photograph it. And then someone will try to fight you for taking pictures.
Say what now?
Be on the lookout for the most interesting outfit. The most interesting, whatever
are
someone's
you saying
wearing.
I'm going to have a stripper on board with a halter top and her boobs hanging out because it's Spirit Airlines?
Right, Spirit. Lots of Spirit. Show your Spirit. You never know.
I mean, if Delta is the Dillards of airlines.
Hold on. Wouldn't that be the Neiman Marcus of airlines?
No. It's not an elite store. I don't think.
No, private planes are Neiman Marcus.
Yeah. I mean,
okay, all right.
So Dillard, yes. Right. If it's the Macy's of airlines, then Spirit is the Walmart, right?
I think it's more of I think it's the Family Dollar. It's the Dollar Tree of airlines. I think you're being too generous with Walmart.
I'm very interested in your experience that you're going to have.
Guess what? Then follow my Instagram, folks.
I'm not that interested.
If you want to see what my Spirit experience is going to be like this weekend, me flying Spirit Airlines for the first time ever, give me a follow. I'll shoot some video on the plane. Give me a follow at Certified MJ Radio. That's Certified MJ Radio. Hey, thanks again to the Cake Girl. Unbelievable. If you did not see the cake that the Cake Girl produced, holy crap. What a cake. The cake was, it exceeded all expectations. Yesterday was Fester's birthday.
Yes.
And the Cake Girl rolled in with a manatee cake. Because I kind of came up with, well, what kind of cake should we have made for Fester? And just a manatee just fit Fester's body type perfectly. So, folks, if you haven't seen the manatee cake wearing headphones that the Cake Girl made, thecakegirl.com, if you want to see how unbelievable a cake can look for birthdays, anniversaries, weddings, corporate events, anything special, if you want to see what kind of work the Cake Girl can do, go to my Instagram, Certified MJ Radio, and there are two things there. You'll see I have pinned at the top, you'll see the cake. There's a slideshow, it's like 4 or 5 pictures. And then look for the Cake Girl's back, wearing her pink chef's top with her ponytail, and that's the video taken by Kirby, the Cake Girl's husband, of them walking into the studio and delivering and surprising us with the manatee cake yesterday, which was unbelievable. And it was a big hit at the house, Fester. You took it home intact. We didn't cut into it here. You brought it home. The family was thrilled.
Yeah, you know what? It was an amazing cake. And the best part about the cake, for as good as it looked, it tasted just as good.
Yeah, and that's a problem with some cakes. They might look great, but they taste like sawdust. The Cake Girl cakes, they taste as good as these masterpieces look.
And let me tell you, I ate so many of those cupcakes that she brought in as well yesterday.
I didn't get it. I didn't get any of them.
Wham, wham, wham.
So I found out those weren't meant for us, and I stole them from their cart for
Good.
you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
What happens
you.
is
Who are they meant for?
Who are those for?
she brought the cake for us.
Yes.
And then she brought a dozen cupcakes for every other radio station.
Oh,
So I reached in and said, "Oh, hey, thanks." Took the cupcakes too. Gave one to Froggy. Gave one to Roxanne. And they're like,
Oh, I didn't know that.
And then no other stations got the cupcakes.
It's not our fault.
The
It's your fault,
guy,
Buster.
the guy who's playing Conway Twitty down the hallway. He's like, "Hey, y'all, you got us some cupcakes?"
Is that how he sounds?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't listen to
just
country
like
music.
that.
But anyway, he didn't get any.
All right, so I've got a Google issue here. And we talked about Google and the AI deal and how Google's smart AI is returning some stupid answers. With their new AI feature, when you do a Google search, look for a little AI near the top. So I don't know what's going on here, but my Gmail says it's full, that I'm at 15 gigabytes.
All right.
And that I'm going to not be able to send and receive mail soon.
Eventually, Gmail cuts you off.
All right, listen to me. I've been using Gmail for a long, long time. I have, for my private emails, I use Gmail. I got a couple of Gmails for business and then private. And over the years, I've had to erase files, just purge emails I don't need. And it's always taken me down. So I've been able to take my 15 down to like 12, giving me, like 3 gigabytes left. But I have done a major purge, and my tally for gigabytes used, it won't budge. In fact, this is unbelievable. I deleted 2,500 emails yesterday, and my storage actually went up.
Huh? That's weird.
That's why I'm. What's going on here? What is Google? Are they trying to force me to finally pay? I don't need to pay $1.99 a month or $2.99 a month. I mean, listen, it's not going to break my bank, obviously, but I'm able to get by for free. Google's getting enough analytics out of me, all right? Google's getting their money's worth out of me. I don't need to give them any more money. But why the hell did I go through my camera roll, because I've got an Android phone and it's all saved to Google. I deleted like 600 or 700 pictures yesterday. Just junk, duplications.
Yeah,
I went through and I deleted like 800 pictures. I deleted files. I deleted 2,500 emails. And usually, if I'm at 15, it'll take me down to sometimes 11, 12.
Did you clear it out of your
Yes.
deleted
And I went into trash. And I know how to do this for all you. What do you think? I'm an idiot?
It's so funny.
So what the hell is going on here? I think Google's screwing with me. So how do I erase all that? And I'm looking at my Google. I'm at 15.02 gigabytes of 15 gigabytes used, and it says 100%. And then on the very top, it says account storage full. You won't be able to send and receive emails soon.
Call the Geek Squad.
And you already can't save to the drive and back up. What is going on here? I deleted at least 3 or 4 gigabytes yesterday, and it's saying that I've used more storage. What? They're screwing with me. What, am I getting punked by Google? What is going on here?
It's a Google ruse.
Over the years, I have cleared out my email. I've cleared out my Google Drive. And I know how this works. This is the first time. Does anyone know what's going on here?
You cleared out your trash?
Yes, we just said that.
I know. I'm just making sure.
Are you tuned in?
I just got up
She
and
wanted
threw
to double
trash.
make sure.
Yeah.
All right.
Listen, the only question I really have is, did you clean out your trash?
All right, stop it. All right. Does anyone know what's going on here? 800-990-1047. If anyone knows what is happening, why is Google screwing with me? All right, 800-990-1047. Maybe I ought to call Don, the IT guy. Don helped me set up my my MJ at mjmorningshow.com. He set me up on the Microsoft 365 deal with Outlook because my network solutions email just sucked. It was awful.
I've been working on
Terrible.
my Don the IT guy impression, by the way.
All right, well, very good. Why don't you do that for us after the show?
Hey, MJ,
all right,
how you doing?
All right, so
MJ, how can I help?
All right, 809. Listen, he's an IT guy. He gets stuff done. He doesn't have to be a ball of fire.
Hey, MJ, what kind of computer are you using?
All right, 800.
Well, you got a triple passcode protected.
You're trying to ruin our relationship with
That's a
Don
really
the
good
IT.
flattery or impression is the most sincerest form of flattery.
I
think I got that right.
800-990-1047. I've done everything to reduce chunks of data. I'm talking I erased gigabytes yesterday. Emptied the trash. Sometimes you got to give it time for it to propagate across the different servers that Google has around the world.
Why don't you ask Don?
Sometimes you got to give it time to propagate around the different servers around
stop.
the world.
By the way, Don is more flared up than that, okay?
What?
All right. No, he's got more flair than that is what I'm
Not
saying.
much.
I mean, what is your deal with Don the IT guy today?
I love Don. Don's a good
Fester
guy.
does nothing but cause trouble.
I'm just working on my impression of him.
Fester's just a troublemaker. All right, folks, give me the call screener.
All right.
I got to move on here, but I want to see if Nathan. Hi, Nathan. You're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Hey, good morning. How you guys doing?
We're doing fine. Do you know what Google's doing to me? What's going on here?
I'm not sure, but did you check your trash? Do you have it cleaned out?
God. Is that a joke?
No, he's got a wise ass here.
I love this guy.
Good one. Good one.
That's a very good observation.
Yeah.
Now he's laughing.
Check your junk mail.
All right, great. All right.
Thank you, Nathan.
All right, thank you. Have a good weekend, Nathan.
Very good.
Yeah, everyone's a comedian.
Good.
Everyone's a comedian.
It is not tough to get one by Andrew.
Anyway, let me try Cheryl. Cheryl's in St. Pete. One more call. I got to move on. Cheryl, hi. You're on the MJ Morning Show.
Good morning, my friend.
Yeah, Cheryl.
Just letting you know I'm having the same issues. I don't know what's going on, but they keep trying to get me to pay $1.99.
There it is. So maybe that's their new deal is they're just hosing us over and they're artificially keeping our box full and trying to force us to pay, $1.99 a month for additional storage on Gmail and the Google Drive deal. All right, Cheryl, thank you.
Thank you, sweetie. Bye.
All right, I thought she was going to say, hey, have you emptied your trash?
I was hoping she would.
Yeah.
Did she call you sweetie at the end of that?
I got a sweetie out of that.
Because you talked to her about
Yeah.
keeping her box full with artificial stuff. So she gave you a sweetie at the end.
Whoa.
Guess who's on the line?
Who?
Don the IT guy.
Don.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Now you love
I
it.
said before I love Don.
Yes.
Don?
Hey, Don.
Yeah. Hey, MJ.
This is
It's
not.
not Don.
This
It's
is
not
no.
Don.
This is
It's
not.
not Don.
This is not Don the
I
IT
do an
guy.
impression of Don, and it doesn't sound like that.
Let me tell you, MJ, what you need to do is ask Google intelligent, and it'll tell you what's going on.
Oh, ask
Google
Google AI.
Artificial intelligence. That's right, and it'll tell you. That'll give you your answer.
Hold on, is your name really Don?
Yep, I'm Don, the IT guy.
All right, so wait a minute, your name is really Don, and you happen to be an IT guy.
I'm Don. You're IT.
No, it's not.
Okay, all
no,
right,
it's
all right.
no. We know what Don the IT guy sounds
Just
like.
let him have the shtick.
I do an impression, sir.
Anyway, thanks for the call. All right, do you think this guy's cell phone really fell 12,000 feet accidentally?
I saw the video of it slipping out, and the answer is I don't know.
All right. Fester has the number for Frank.
Yeah.
Frank Carbolito. He's the dude that was skydiving over Zephyr Hills and says that his cell phone fell out of his pocket from 12,000 feet up, hit the ground. He tracked the phone using Find My Phone, and the phone didn't have a scratch on it after falling from 12,000 feet. Why is it that we drop a phone from 3 feet? We drop a phone from our pocket to the floor, 3 feet, and the thing smashes like it got hit by a truck. You know, the screen's busted, the corner's dented.
So part of the
The hell?
explanation is it landed in trees, and the theory is that the leaves of the trees broke the fall. It didn't hit a limb. It didn't hit concrete. It landed on, pine needles.
The reason why I'm asking the question is because he's a content creator. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that sounds like what he was doing.
Hello?
Hi there.
Is this Frank Carbolito?
Yes. What's up?
Hey, Frank, it's MJ and the crew. MJ, Fester, Froggy, Roxanne from Q105, the MJ Morning Show. So you spoke to Fester yesterday.
I did, yeah.
All right, so Frank, I was just curious, and it's a great story. Your phone fell out of your park. By the way, congratulations on being a skydiver. That's one thing I will not do.
Why not?
I'm a scuba diver. I'll go under the ocean. I'm a very avid scuba diver. I've been all around the planet. I've had over 1,200 dives. I've done all levels of diving. In the recreational realm. And I'm an adventurer. I'm a scuba diver. I don't want to jump out of airplanes. I don't want to go on hot air balloons. I mean, too many of those running to high voltage power lines. So I give you credit for skydiving. It's just something that, and I'm very adventurous. I don't want to skydive. All right. So is this real? Because, Frank, when we saw your story about your cell phone falling 12,000 feet above Zephyr Hills. Is that called, that's Skydive City over there?
Skydive City, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we've been talking about Skydive City for years. I'm fully aware of it. And actually, I've been invited. They invited me years ago to go skydiving because I said I would never do it. And they wanted to hook me up with a tandem jump deal. And I'm like, no, I don't think so. All right. So, Frank, when we saw the story, your occupation is content creator.
Well, my occupation is technically a truck driver, but yeah, I do like to make content.
Okay. So listen, the first thing that dawned on me was this a real cell phone drop, or Frank, will you try to create content?
No, it's a real drop, and it's actually pretty common in skydiving. It happens. I've heard of it happening. I've heard of people finding their phones completely intact. It's not uncommon.
But what if the phone hits someone on the head? That would kill them, right?
It's but it's really unlikely. So normally that plane is flying over the runway, right? And how many people do you often see walking on a runway, right? You're not supposed to. So that's not going to happen. But that day in particular, it was really cloudy. So the pilot took us to the east, which is a forested area. And in fact, he wouldn't have gone to the west, which is residential. We're not supposed to go there, but. We just flew over that forested area to get away from the clouds, and that's where it fell.
All right, and Frank, this was an iPhone?
No, this was a Samsung Galaxy.
I'm sorry.
It
I'm
wasn't
sorry.
an iPhone.
That's right. It was. I said it yesterday. It was a Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
And then what was we also mentioned the brand of case that you had. What? Because also I was thinking, was this like an attempt to get an endorsement deal with the phone case company?
Something promotional. Yeah, no, it's a cheap case, and I honestly wouldn't even recommend it. It was like a cheap Amazon $15 case, and
we looked it
I bought it because it has that little flap in the back that you can kind of keep the phone standing.
Yeah.
And after 2 months, it's super loose, and it's just not working. So no, I wouldn't recommend the case either.
Right. So all right. So this is you're not bucking for an endorsement deal from the case company. This case sucks, but it did save my phone from falling 12,000 feet.
Right. Samsung reached out yesterday, which is pretty cool.
Hold on. Samsung reached out to you?
Yeah.
What'd they have to say?
Yeah, what did they say?
They just said it was, we liked the video. It was cool. Send us your address. We'll send you guys some merch, and that's it.
They didn't offer a free new Galaxy?
I want to be on that commercial deal.
Oh, yeah.
Let me help you guys make a commercial. I'll jump out of the plane with anything you guys got.
Yeah. Well, I'll jump out of the plane with a Samsung 75-inch OLED television set.
Right, yeah.
Let's drop a Samsung TV from the airplane at 12,000 feet. See what happens. No, but Frank, you don't have to spend a lot of money on cases. Like I've got a great case, which is highly rated. I've got a Ringke case, Ringke, which is made in South Korea, and my case was $1,299 for my Google Pixel 8 Pro, and this is a highly rated case. I've dropped it many times. Nothing's happened to my phone. It's been perfect. But you folks, you don't have to spend $39.99, $49.99 for a case. There are plenty of good cases where you can save good money.
Right, yeah, I agree. I mean, this is proof. But also, it's what the people said, terminal velocity is something you got to take into consideration, meaning that like the phone doesn't continue picking up speed.
Yeah, it can only reach a certain speed in the free fall.
Right, and then it landed in a forested area, so it's not on concrete.
What is it like 99 or 110 miles an hour is like, what is the terminal velocity?
I don't know the one for the phone because it's smaller, right? But I know ours is between 120. It can go over 200 miles an hour depending on our body position. But the phone is so small, it's not doing that. And in the video, you see the phone looks like it went up. It didn't go up. It just didn't go as fast as we were going. And we were probably doing 140 in that position.
Oh, wow.
Anyway, Frank, thanks for coming on, buddy. I appreciate it. I believe you.
Hey, Frank, where can
I
people
do.
find your content? It said you're a content creator. Where can people find you online?
On Instagram mostly. Yeah, just look at my name, Frank Carbolito 97. But yeah, thank you guys.
All right, Frank. And what kind of truck do you drive?
The semis, 53-foot international.
Oh, wow. And are you a long haul over the road or just local or in the state?
No, I did that for 2 years. Came back local, so I can go skydive and scuba dive and do all that.
Oh, so you're a scuba diver as well?
I am, and honestly, I think skydiving is still safer. It's less things can go wrong.
Hold on, you think skydiving is safer? I don't know if have you ever heard of the MJ Morning Show before we tracked you down?
No. But I don't listen to the radio.
Well, would you give us a listen? And now knowing I'm an avid scuba diver, because if listen, I'm not jaded. I know there are plenty of people that don't listen to our show, and there are plenty of people that don't even know about our show. That if they did listen to us, that they would be, man, I like this show. There are plenty of people that are listening to other shows that don't know we're here. That if they did hear us, they'd be like, oh man, I'm going to walk away from that dull ass show I'm listening to now and listen to this MJ thing. But if you were a listener, Frank, you would have heard I just went to Indonesia with my daughter back in late January and February and went to Raja Ampat, which was the among the best diving I've ever done.
Yeah.
So anyway, thank you, Frank, for coming on. I appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
All right, Frank, have a good one.
Buddy.
Take care.
Yeah, super nice guy. I kind of believe him.
Sorry, I doubted him.
Sound like this.
He did not sound like our impression.
What you think with a name like Frank Carbolito that he's got to sound
Carbolito.
like that he's one of Tony's crew?
Frankie Skydiver. Hey.
Why don't we meet at Satrial's at the pork shop and plan the next job?
You want espresso? Give me espresso for my friend over here.
Christopher says he's got a line on a truck with a whole bunch of DVD players in them.
You don't smack that girl around until you give her your name. You hear me?
Hey, yo, Frankie jumps. Back up.
Hey, have you heard Judge Judy? This is kind of going a little viral. Judge Judy, who now is she on Freevee? Is that, or is she, which one is she on?
She's on Freevee.
Is she on Freevee? Is that her?
Yeah. So Judge Judy has a streaming show now, and she's doing the whole Judge Judy act.
God, how old is she? She's been on TV forever.
She's like 78.
Yeah, and she's...
Can you look that up? I just
still
guessed.
kind of hot.
I think she's like 78.
I did.
Look up Judge Judy Scheinlin, right? That's her name?
Oh, I like
you
her.
can just say
81.
She's 81.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
That's how many feet her yacht is.
Yeah, right?
So Judge Judy, I guess this happened back in the fall, but the video is just going viral now, and I guess she just lets it rip. Just attacks a woman and her mother in this rant.
You're a moron.
Yeah.
Play that again. Is that the whole clip?
No, there's more.
Oh, okay.
But she just opens up with, you're a moron.
You're a moron.
How?
You're a moron.
That's not me.
You're a moron. So's your mother.
That's not me.
Why? You're a moron. So's your mother. You have a protective order against you for 3 years. That means that a court found you guilty of the acts that were committed here on the 18th of November of 2017. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Yeah, that's classic Judge Judy.
I don't care about not remembering the date or getting your dates confused, getting your county confused, getting the state confused, getting your brain confused. You have a protective order that found you guilty of the acts alleged on November 18th in a court. Do you understand?
Yes.
Then you're guilty. Then you're going to fix the window. And if a court found you guilty...
How, if that wasn't me?
If the court found you guilty, I am going to find you guilty.
That wasn't me.
Yeah, that wasn't me. That wasn't me.
That
it wasn't your
her.
mama. terrified a whole neighborhood. Let me tell you what you do if you have a protective order. If you forget the date, if you get the room wrong, if you don't show up in the right court. You don't allow someone to have a protective order against you for a year, 6 months, 2 years, or 3 years. You go to court and you say to the clerk in the court, I got the date confused. Can you please give me instructions on how to get rid of this protective order because what's stated in here is not true. Do you understand?
Yes.
Right. Did you do that? The answer is no.
Because that's not me.
You're a fool.
Good
She
for
doesn't
Judy.
sound
Good.
80. She sounds pretty sharp.
She does. No, she sounds like her brain is working great. There are other 81-year-old brains that are not working anywhere near as well as Judge Judy's brain, if you know what I mean. All right, so 8:27 at the MJ Morning Show.
She's the boss applesauce.
Yeah, Dennis Phillips, Mr. Suspenders. Dennis Phillips, the chief meteorologist at ABC Action News, is going to join us in about half an hour. At 9 o'clock, we're going to have Dennis Phillips on, and I want to walk through this like dire doom and gloom fear factor NOAA story that came out yesterday, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. NOAA, National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. NOAA had a revised forecast for the hurricane season, which starts in a week. And, like, if you watched media yesterday, the cable news channels, all local news, yesterday just seemed that, oh, my God, the hurricane season, it's going to be the worst ever. And while the predictions are among, or if not the highest ever, I want to kind of get to the bottom of things. And let's go to Dennis Phillips in half an hour. So make sure you're with us at 9 o'clock. The prediction is 17 to 25 total named storms, 8 to 13 forecast to become hurricanes, including 4 to 7 majors, categories 3, 4, or 5. So what's the real deal here? Dennis Phillips, we'll have him on at 9 o'clock. Stand by. Here's a dumb traveler. And here's a woman attacking Delta Airlines. She claims that Delta caused her to miss her friend's wedding because she couldn't get on the flight. So this woman on social media is blaming Delta because she missed her flight. It was a 5 a.m. flight, and because she didn't make that flight, she missed her best friend's wedding. Her bestie, her BFF.
Was she in the wedding? She must have been.
It's your best friend, right?
The name is Abby Adcox. Abby Adcox. She missed a 5 a.m. Delta flight. You want to know why she's angry?
Why?
Why is Miss Adcox angry now?
Miss Adcox, just settle down, please.
Because Delta pushed back on time. She's yelling at Delta, I missed my flight, and Delta pushed back on time, so she's angry that Delta would not let her get on the flight. The flight left on time.
Well, hold on now. Even if a flight is delayed on the, don't they still load on time, right?
A lot of times, yes. They load on time and they'll close the door, and I think the policy generally is if they close the door, they're not opening the door back up.
Did I tell you what Doug? I think I told you this off air, MJ. What Doug witnessed on, I believe it was American Airlines when he was going to the Bahamas.
Was he
just a
flying
couple
with
days ago?
Abby Adcock?
No, but he said that there was this woman, and he said he watched the whole thing happen, and she went to the bathroom. She had a baby. She came back and asked, "Are
She
they
went to the
boarding?"
bathroom and had a baby and then came back?
No. She had a
You
baby.
hear about those? They have a baby. They have a baby in the toilet in the
Walmart
in the lavatory.
Dude, it's the change in pressure.
Yeah.
Pops right out.
Yep.
So she comes back and says, "Are you guys boarding?" No, they weren't. Then she left to change the baby, came back, and they had just shut the door.
Yeah, you told us that.
But Doug said
she didn't change the baby on the airplane. She changed it in the
restroom in the
terminal.
In the terminal,
Yeah.
exactly. And she was crying. Here she is, a woman traveling just with her baby, trying to get to Jacksonville. And Doug said,
Was she barefoot and pregnant also?
She wasn't. I don't think she was pregnant.
She had
but
the baby.
Yeah, she
Did
had
she
a baby.
have a tight, low-cut halter top and right out of a Cops episode?
Maybe so, because Doug was helping her all day. He's like, I'm helping this woman find other tickets. And then
Oh, Doug,
but-
how sweet.
Yeah. But he said it really wasn't her fault because they boarded in less than 10 minutes.
How is it not her fault? You got to be there at the gate.
Right? But she checked, like, are you boarding yet? No.
They don't close the door
know.
until like 10 minutes before, and sometimes, listen, she clearly missed the window to board the airplane. It's not the airline's fault. Just like this woman, Abby, who's bitching at Delta. You Delta, you caused me to miss my bestie's wedding. Because what? They pushed back? They left on time at 5 a.m.
The point is, if you're traveling and you think to yourself, oh, they haven't started boarding yet. I have 15 minutes to go faff around. Guess what? You don't.
Go faff around?
Yes.
I never heard that.
Oh, go faff yourself.
You don't know
I've never
what
heard
that
faff.
Faff is not a replacement for the F word. Faff is like ineffectual behavior.
F-A-F?
F-A-F-F.
F-A-F-F, faff?
Yeah, like, are you going to faff
a real
around or are you
word?
going to get this done?
Hang on a minute. Let me go to...
I meant it that way.
Hey, Fess,
you did?
go to m-w.com. That's not... Faff is a word?
The meaning of faff in English is something that takes a lot of effort or causing slight problems.
No, it's like ineffectual behavior.
That's from the Cambridge Dictionary.
Yeah, it's faffing is like...
I think that's a fly-by-night. Go to Merriam-Webster.
Merriam-Webster, to make a fuss over nothing.
All right, faff.
Just
How
spend
the
time.
hell? Wait a minute. How
time
the
in
hell
it.
have I lived 58 years and I never heard the word faff?
I don't know.
You know, you're really
But
making
it's new to me too, so don't feel like... I just heard it recently.
Oh, it's dialectical British. I don't think it's a common American word.
Oh, go faff off.
All right, you
Spend
guys,
time in an ineffectual activity. That's what faffing is. So
you guys are really making a whole faff out of this.
I don't remember what we were talking about. Okay, my point
I bet
is...
you the bulk of our audience has not heard the word faff. I'm telling you right now. I can admit when I don't know the word. I've never heard the word faff until you just said it.
Well, guess what? I'm going to tell you the truth. I didn't hear it until last week, and then I heard someone say it, and I had to look it up.
And
I was dying to use it, and I found my in.
All right, so wait a minute. Where...
And you used it.
Where do you hear somebody? What are you watching? BritBox? Are you watching one of those British TV streaming channels?
I was watching Bridgerton. Bridgerton.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so don't...
Who used the word faff?
I can't remember, but I just know I read it or I heard it, and I was like...
What do you mean you don't know? A word you've never heard and you can't tell us where you heard it?
I know exactly where I heard it.
Where?
Now I do.
Jeez.
One of those MSN, it was an MSN click-through, ways to be more productive. And it was in that story.
Oh, so it's a British story, probably.
No, it wasn't a British story. It was MSN.com, not British story. Okay, back to the story. This is something for travelers to know. Don't think that if they haven't started the boarding process that you can step away for 15 minutes, because I notice they board really quickly now. 10 minutes or less, boom, boom, boom. Be there for your departure time.
I've seen plenty of flights where it's taken half an hour.
You know what?
That is true as well.
Southwest
But
takes forever.
you can't assume that always to be the case.
I think Travel Tips with Roxanne is like a new Instagram.
It's got a
page.
ring to it, right?
It really does.
And
Roxanne's big tips of travel.
Roxanne's got big tips
of travel.
On the MJ Morning Show.
Oh,
Just
my gosh.
a tip.
This is a no faffing zone.
Between MJ's plane knowledge and Roxanne's travel tips, what else do you need to fly?
The BTR Travel Tips. Big tips. Roxanne.
8:36 at the MJ Morning Show. $1,000 with the $40,000 MJ Morning Show money heist. Your chance to grab your share of the loot. Another $1,000. We'll give it away in moments here on the MJ Morning Show. I'll tell you exactly when to call in. I'll tell you exactly what number caller to be. It'll happen soon here on the MJ Morning Show. Hang on. Michelle's sending me a text.
What, does she use the word faff all the time?
That's been an initiative of all airlines, reduce boarding time. No, I know that. I know. Michelle, my lovely wife, is listening. I know they don't want to elongate and prolong. They want to load the plane quickly. They want to push back and get an on-time departure, which that's also kind of a big racket because they can push back. The minute they push 1 inch, they close the door and they push back even 1 inch, that's considered an on-time departure.
Right.
Even if you sit on the ramp or on a taxiway for the next hour and a half, it's still logged as an on-time departure for statistical reasons.
Did Michelle use the word initiative in a
Yeah,
text?
yeah, it's been an initiative of all airlines to reduce boarding time, of course. I don't think any airline out there wants to
I'm just saying.
elongate and prolong the boarding process.
It sounds like she's pining for a job at like the PR department of the airlines. It's been our initiative.
Yes, at
Who
front-
uses that word in a text?
At Frontier, we're opting for a 2-hour boarding process. We want the boarding process to be as long as your flight.
Get to the airport 4 hours early because it's going to take forever to board.
Who wants to make $150,000 a year? Who would like to make that's a nice number. Who would like to make $150,000 a year?
Are you asking in this room?
Or in general?
I'm asking in general to mostly our listening audience.
That's a nice amount of money.
That's a good amount of change.
I'm asking mostly our listening audience.
Yeah.
Would you like a job tip? Would you like to hear what type of work you can do and make $150,000 a year right here in Florida? It's within your grasp.
Not radio?
Guess who's making $150,000 or more in many cases here in the state of Florida?
It could be anybody.
Toll booth attendants.
No, those pretty much don't exist much anymore. I don't think.
Who? I mean,
garbage men.
Yeah.
Housekeepers. Listen to this. Palm Beach housekeepers are making $150,000 plus a year. There is a massive demand for wealthy homeowners in need of housekeepers, and this is amazing. The mass wealth migration to Florida from New York, for instance, and other high-tax states has created this record demand, according to Business Insider, for household staff in these elite Florida enclaves like Palm Beach. And the shortage of housekeepers for wealthy homes has led to a skyrocketing of hourly wages and or whatever the compensation package is. I've been placing staff for 30 years. I've never seen anything like this, said April Berube, the founder of the Wellington Agency. And I guess she finds staff, nannies, and housekeepers for wealthy families. Housekeepers in Palm Beach and South Florida are cleaning up with salaries topping $150,000. And apparently there are bidding wars. So if they have a good housekeeper candidate, some families, I guess, are trying to outbid the other family. Okay, what are they got to? This other family's going to pay them $150,000. I'll give them $160,000 a year, $175,000 a year. Man, it's like the Maid Mountain Climber game or something.
Are they like live-in maids? Like they live there?
It
has to be.
It doesn't say.
Like a butler.
I mean, if you have yourself a Benson, that's different than if you have somebody who just,
Mr. Belvedere
drops in, on Tuesdays and Fridays.
Demand for butlers, now called hospitality managers or estate managers as well. Nannies, chefs, drivers, personal security has surged. And housekeepers can make $150,000 or more over in the Palm Beaches.
Well, yeah, you got a rich client.
And South Beach. What's that? What's the name of that billionaire island where Tom Brady's building that house?
I want to say
Is it Star Island?
No, not Star Island. Oh my gosh, I always forget it.
It's called the Billionaire Bunker
Billionaire
Island.
Bunker.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I bet you they're paying some of their housekeepers $150,000 or more a year.
Indian Creek Village.
Is that
Yeah.
what? Really?
Mm-hmm.
Seems a little insensitive.
Sounds like some kind of planned community off the turnpike. Not billionaire
Yeah,
bunkers.
no, but that's it.
All right. Yeah, I just thought that was a massive number. All right, I'm not giving away the money yet, folks. Don't get all crazy on me. No money yet. I want to take a call on something, or some calls. Guess what classic ice cream flavor could be extinct? Classic ice cream flavor that could be going away. In fact, there are companies that have stopped making this flavor.
Okay.
And I love this flavor.
Is it a popularity thing? It's not selling enough, or is it is there a conflict?
I think typically if something doesn't sell, that's the cause of it going away.
Right, but I didn't know if there's a problem with it.
No. It's not like
Not like listeria.
It's not like
or
it's getting canceled.
Right. No. This is an ice cream flavor that was once remarkably popular, but the popularity has dropped, and there are ice cream companies that are not making this flavor anymore. Do you know what it is?
Don't say strawberry.
My favorite is mint.
Anybody want to guess?
Chocolate chip.
Yeah, I love mint chocolate chip as well.
That's always good.
Would anyone like to guess? What ice cream flavor do you think is potentially going extinct? All right, 800-990-1047.
Have a guess.
Just a couple of calls here. Just a couple of calls. Because I got to clear the line soon for the contest. But don't call for the money yet. We're still a few minutes away. 800-990-1047. That's 800-990-1047. Which ice cream could go away?
You know what I feel is harder and harder to find in the ice cream world is a good malt. A lot of times you ask for malt and they'll just be like, no, we don't have that.
What do you think? This is the 50s?
I like malt. You know what? Tillamook makes a good malt ice cream. Tillamook's a good brand. I think Tillamook for store. I make my own ice cream, but like if I'm in between batches and we have nothing, like I haven't made ice cream in a while, and Julian was home and he bought some stuff.
Whenever you say Tillamook, I think of Tillicum, the killer whale.
But Tillamook's a good,
different.
but they have a malt ice cream which is very good.
Okay.
All right. Anyway.
I have a guess. Can I have a guess?
Hang on. Let me just give you the fact. So this ice cream has fallen out of the top 5. This ice cream flavor just 2 years ago was in the top 5. It has now fallen to 8th place and dropping, according to the brand new 2024 survey from the International Dairy Foods Association. And the story goes on to say that you've had multiple companies that have just flatly dropped this flavor.
Because it's fallen to 8th place, it still seems like it's a good seller.
They don't make it anymore. Some places have just totally discontinued the flavor. All right, what do you think it is? Deborah in Tampa. Deborah, what ice cream flavor do you think is starting to fall out of favor and could go away completely?
Bubblegum?
Incorrect.
What?
But thanks for the guess.
I buy a reasonable amount of ice cream. I don't know that I've seen bubblegum flavor in my grocer's freezer too often.
Cece in Riverview. Cece, you're on the MJ Morning Show. What ice cream flavor you think is potentially going to go away?
Butter pecan.
No, that's a pretty popular flavor, I do believe, but that's not it. But thank you for guessing. I appreciate it.
That's an old school flavor.
Look, JC in Tampa. Hold on. JC, you're going to say bubblegum as well?
Yeah, bubblegum. That was my guess.
Yeah, no, it's not it. But JC, thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. Have a good weekend. Chris in Thenota Sessa. Chris, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Hey, I say Neapolitan.
Where you have the chocolate, the vanilla, and the strawberry.
Yes.
That is incorrect.
Good guess. That's
It is not that one. Thank you for guessing, though. Oh, look, and Michelle also. Michelle, you were going to say Neapolitan as well, right?
I was.
Yep, that is incorrect, but thank you. Okay. Have a good one. Jamie in Lakeland. Jamie, what ice cream flavor has dropped out of the top 5? It's now number 8. It's dropping like a rock, and some companies have already discontinued it. And could the flavor go away? What flavor do you think it is?
I say coffee.
No.
I hate coffee.
And I think whoever invented coffee ice cream was not really thinking.
I don't like coffee.
No.
I like coffee.
All right, Jeff in Newport Richie. Jeff, what flavor?
Yeah. Y'all guaranteed it's pistachio.
No.
Oh.
So MJ, I have seen pistachio ice cream with almonds in it. It's like because it's cheaper. I've seen, but it's not pistachio.
Okay, what this segment is proving to me is whatever flavor's going away, nobody knows about it.
Yeah, well, maybe that's an indication.
Yeah.
The flavor.
We got 2 more calls?
Yeah, well, no, every line is ringing.
Oh, well, what happens is we go through them and then they fill up in there.
Every line is ringing.
Sprinkles?
Aren't we running out of ice cream?
He's got 2 more screens.
Not really.
Hey, I'm just taking Deb and Jennifer. That's it. So all the other lines, tell them thanks for calling. Deb and Ruskin, what flavor?
Maple walnut.
Nope.
I mean, that's obscure. That's not a top. I'm not cutting you down, Deb, but you know.
But hey, listen, thanks for guessing.
Good guess.
Rum raisin.
Not a bad guess.
I wouldn't think maple walnut was a top seller 4 years ago.
Jennifer, last call. Every line is still ringing, but this is the last call. I'm going to do the big reveal. Jennifer in Plant City, what ice cream flavor is falling out of favor?
Chocolate chip.
The last call gets it.
Oh, I was going to say dingleberry.
Chocolate chip. Hold on. Did you see the story or did you look it up?
No, I just don't really care for chocolate chip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the point? It's a big what's the point ice cream to me,
What
right?
do you mean, what's the...
What's the point?
By the
It's
way,
vanilla ice cream.
with
and
chocolate chips
And then
in
you're
it.
going to put some, what's the point?
So
put something like a gummy bear or like chocolate chip cookie dough
I
or
don't
like
want
chocolate.
gummy bears in my ice cream.
Gummy bears is a little hard to chew on ice cream. But
Tell you what, how about they have trillions of cicadas around the country now. How about new cicada ice cream?
MJ, when you were saying this, I thought chocolate chip because I have picked it up.
Yep.
I've picked up chocolate chip and I've wanted to like it, but right next to it is mint chocolate chip,
Right.
which gives you the same chocolate chips and minty flavor.
And minty freshness.
Yeah. It's really no comparison. It's refreshing. It really is.
It is. So, Jennifer, 100% right. You got it. A lot of companies have discontinued chocolate chip, and it's falling out of favor for whatever reason. Chocolate chip used to be one of the top flavors. I remember my aunt, what was that? It wasn't Aunt Edith. It was...
Aunt Gertrude?
No. It was one of my aunts. It was a great aunt and my great uncle.
Aunt Grandpa
No. My great uncle had remarried, and what the hell was her name?
But she liked chocolate chip ice cream?
Oh, she always had chocolate chip ice cream. Thanks for the call. Great guess. Yeah, it's chocolate chip. It could be going away.
If you have a tub of chocolate chip in front of you and chocolate chip cookie dough, what are you going to go for?
Completely different.
Cookie dough.
Ice cream?
Cookie dough all day.
I don't like the cookie dough in the ice
wrong
cream.
with you?
I'm not a fan of
Cookie
it.
dough's
I'm not a fan of cookie dough. I'm sorry.
What's wrong with him is a loaded question.
I'll eat a packet of cookie dough on its own.
There's only one kind of dough he likes.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Pizza dough.
I thought you were going to say something else.
The green kind?
Yeah.
That's what I thought you were going to say. That's what I thought you were going to say. All right. Dennis Phillips is going to join us in about 10 minutes. At 9 o'clock, Dennis Phillips will join us live here on the MJ Morning Show. Got to give away the money. Time for the moolah. I've got $1,000 to give away right now. Roxanne, pick the number.
43.
Nice.
There it is. Caller 43 right now. 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. If you're caller 43, you will win $1,000 right now with the $40,000 MJ Morning Show Money Heist. Thanks to the Kemp Law Group. Accident or fall, you call Kemp Law. Any accident, you're crashed into at a red light, someone runs a red light, you got a fall at a store because they've got the floor's all wet, or you got tripping hazards, accident or fall, you call Kemp Law. All right, so caller 43 right now, 800-990-1047, and you will be the latest $1,000 winner if you can tell us who won last hour. All right, another $1,000 happens next hour as well.
I have a friend who keeps DMing me and saying, if MJ lets you pick the number, will you pick 43? So I finally got it in there for
Are you
him.
serious?
Yeah.
Really?
Uh-huh.
What's the significance?
I don't know. But he just likes that number. And I did
Very
it.
interesting.
All right.
I said, if he comes to me, I'll do it.
All right, so Dennis Phillips going to talk about this new NOAA prediction yesterday with the crazy number of hurricanes they're predicting. Did you see Antonio Brown has now revealed, or we've seen the number? Remember earlier in the week we had the story that Antonio Brown has filed for bankruptcy. Yeah, AB Antonio Brown. Remember Fester and I, we were outside of Antonio Brown's house in South Tampa where he was all holed up.
We were trying to help Tampa Police Department get him out of the house.
Yeah, remember there was wasn't there a warrant for him, and he wouldn't come out of the house
for like weeks.
And there were reports that he had a high-powered rifle inside, and the house was under surveillance. And Fester and we showed up to the house with a megaphone to try to coax him out with some PDQ gift cards. And then TPD rolls up in unmarked cars, and they're like, yeah, MJ, you got to leave.
Yeah. You thought Antonio Brown was under surveillance. We were under surveillance.
Yeah. They knew we were coming. They were watching us, and they said, yeah, we've let this go as far as we can let it go. Right. And, because they were worried about, and remember, Antonio Brown, remember that he peeked out the window while we were outside with the megaphone.
Antonio Brown, this is the MJ Morning Show. Please come out. Antonio Brown, this is the MJ Morning Show. If you come out, I have a PDQ combo meal coupon for you.
Oh, my gosh. And then TPD rolled up and said, MJ, you guys got to go. Because they didn't know whether he was going to start firing on us. Anyway, so Antonio Brown, who once slept at Tom Brady's house and then turned on Tom Brady and Giselle, wasn't he making fun of Tom Brady's divorce? Yeah, some
putting
friend.
up pictures with her.
Yeah, exactly.
Wouldn't he have been a great guest at the roast?
So it comes out.
Surprise guest.
Comes out now that he's filed for federal bankruptcy here in Florida and owes almost $3 million to 8 creditors. He had a $400,000 Rolls-Royce SUV in the driveway at the South Tampa home that he was all holed up in.
Yeah, and he used it to drive to PDQ to use the coupon we gave him.
Listen, he made $80.7 million during his 12-year NFL career and has apparently nothing to show for it. Yeah, played for the Raiders, the Steelers, the Buccaneers, the Patriots, owes hundreds of thousands of dollars in credit card debt, and $296 to a local plumber. He can't even pay the local plumber.
Come on.
My God.
What plumber did he stiff?
Anyway.
Clog your toilet, you expect to pay for it?
I mean, you should have a boatload of money if you made $80 million. Oh, can you imagine having nothing left? What the hell?
I don't understand.
All right. Hi, good morning, MJ Morning Show. Who's this?
Hey, this is Kat.
Kat?
Yeah.
Kat, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Gainesville.
Kat in Gainesville. Kat,
Yeah.
are you a regular MJ Morning Show listener?
Yes.
Wow. Kat in Gainesville. Kat, what are you doing in Gainesville, Kat?
Just hanging out. I'm getting ready to go to my niece's graduation.
Oh, wow.
So do you listen on the Q105 signal or do you listen on like online?
It's both. It just depends on how it can come in.
Hold on. You can sometimes get us on the regular radio up in Gainesville?
Yes, actually.
Wow, that's fantastic. All right, Kat, you are caller 43. Kat, can you tell us who won last hour?
Yes, it was Becky.
Yes, it was. Kat, you got $1,000.
Oh, my goodness. Yay. Thank you so much.
How do you spell Kat? Is that K-A-T-T or how do you spell it?
Just K-A-T.
K-A-T. Kat, congratulations. The latest $1,000 winner here on the MJ Morning Show.
Thank you.
All right, Kat, hold the phone. Andrew is going to get your information. Another $1,000 to give away next hour. Just know who just won. Folks, Dennis Phillips, the minute we get back. We're going to take our break, and the minute we get back, I'm going right to Dennis Phillips right after the commercials. Dennis Phillips, ABC Action News, chief meteorologist. Let's make some heads or tails out of the big story that NOAA is predicting an even busier hurricane season. They've upped the number of storms that were predicted even just a month ago. Kind of a little bit of a hurricane panic yesterday. The media was going all, All right, the minute we get back, we're going right to Dennis Phillips from ABC Action News, chief meteorologist, and he'll let us know what his thoughts are on the dire hurricane prediction for the hurricane season, which starts in a week here in Florida. So that's going to be next. The Cake Girl just absolutely... O'clock hour, $1,000 in cash is on the way this hour. Another grand in the $40,000 MJ Morning Show money heist. First, though, Dennis Phillips, chief meteorologist over at ABC Action News, Channel 28, joins us. Dennis, great to have you back on the MJ Morning Show.
How you guys doing?
We're doing very well. So I invited you on this morning, and in fact, I popped onto your Dennis Phillips live online video stream last night.
Yeah, you were a hit. Everybody's like, MJ. I wasn't really reading the comments, but everybody loved you.
Yeah, well, thank you very much. So, as you know, yesterday, NOAA came out with was this a new prediction, or was this NOAA's first prediction, adding to the other predictions of like Colorado State University, or was this a revised NOAA or a brand new NOAA?
No, they issue their first one of the season just before the beginning of hurricane season, and then they'll do an update on August 1st.
I got
which
you.
is always kind of comical, because if it's going well, they'll keep it as is, but if it's lower than average, they'll dump down the prediction a little bit. But, yeah, I mean, this is the first one.
All right, so I wanted to have you on because it just seemed that all the news channels, cable, local, online, it just seemed like an episode of Hurricane Fear Factor yesterday that, oh my, NOAA's like dire prediction. NOAA, above normal season, forecasting a range of 17 to 25 total named storms. 8 to 13 are forecast to become hurricanes, including 4 to 7 major hurricanes, which is a category 3, 4, or 5. Dennis, what are your thoughts here on this NOAA prediction? And, it just seems that it was a bit aggravating yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, I feel the same way. I just think these long-range forecasts are pretty much useless. They just don't mean anything because they're not predicting impacts on anybody. They're just predicting what's going to develop. And the big question is, we've talked about this a million times. Look, if there's a lot of storms that develop, but none of them hit anybody, then most people will think, well, it was a quiet year, even if we had 20, 25, 30 named storms, whatever the case may be. At the end of the day, it's all about landfall. And there's nobody out there who knows if a storm is going to make landfall anywhere in any spot more than 7 to 10 days out. So NOAA does it in good faith. I know they do. I mean, this whole thing started, you may not know this, but Dr. Bill Gray, who passed away years ago, he used to teach at Colorado State University. And this is how it started. And he figured out there's a relationship between El Nino and the number of storms that develop in a hurricane season. He came up with that idea. And he took it one further, went with, okay, when there's an El Nino, he's going to make a prediction. And they started doing yearly predictions. And the meteorologists that do this, again, they do it in good faith. They're not doing it to try to scare anybody. But the problem is the media picks up on it and just goes crazy, like you said. I just don't think it does anything at all to help prepare people for a season that's coming up. Because if they're predicting lower than normal, then people aren't going to be that prepared. They're going to be like, well, we're not going to have a big season. If they predict higher than normal and then we don't have a big season, then the next year they're going to be like, but remember last year?
Mm-hmm. All right, so essentially, make sure I have this right. So for us here in Florida and the East Coast, if you have an El Nino year, that tends to be statistically a little bit more favorable for us not to have as much activity, but La Nina is back in the Pacific, and that has the opportunity to create more problems for us?
Yeah, it all boils down to an area of cold water off the coast of South America, in the Pacific. And believe it or not, that has a real impact on not just our hurricane season, but also the Pacific's hurricane season. So when you have this exceptionally warm pool of water off of South America, off of Argentina, that is an El Nino, and it's named El Nino because it used to happen around Christmas time, and the Argentinian anchovy crop would be impacted directly by how warm or how cold the water was.
Yeah, that's amazing.
It happened at Christmas time, and they named it El Nino for the Christ child because that's kind of how it started. And what happens with an El Nino, you have upper-level winds that are typically unfavorable for storms to develop. So in other words, when you get this big warm water off of Argentina, it impacts the upper-level winds and usually limits the amount of storms that develop. We had that last year. And I'll tell you, it played out that way because even though we had quite a few storms develop last year, none developed in the Caribbean.
I'd like to add a new one. We have El Nino, we have La Nina. I think we ought to add La Prostituta. All right, no,
and how many storms develop when that's the case?
I don't know. I think,
9 months later,
I think increased cases of chlamydia is what I'm thinking.
It really screws things up, though.
All right, I'm sorry, Dennis. Go ahead.
No, but this year there's a La Nina. It's the opposite. It's that air, and it isn't. By the way, it isn't like just switch is flipped and boom, all of a sudden you've got this. All it is a warming and cooling of the water in the Pacific. Now that the water's cooling off again, we're trending toward La Nina. It's going to happen in August, September, October-ish is when we're going to get to that point. And usually when you have a La Nina, conditions are much more favorable for development.
What about the fact that they're saying, Dennis, that the Atlantic is like 4 degrees warmer, the Gulf is up to 2 degrees warmer? I mean, clearly, warm water is energy for hurricanes. So if we do get them close by, the warm waters could amplify the intensity?
100%. And that's the thing. Just because the water is going to be warmer does not mean that there's going to be more storms develop. There's a lot more that comes in. Look, if that's all it was, anybody could say, look, well, the water is 2 degrees warmer. We're going to have a lot more storms. There's a lot more that comes into play with this forecast. But yes, to me, that's the big issue here is the fact that the water has, and by the way, we've had warm water before. It isn't like this is the first time. But what's going to happen is the water is obscenely warm compared to normal, like literally, as you said, 2.5 to 4 degrees higher than average. You throw that in with a La Nina, then all of a sudden, not only are we going to have more storms, but to me, that's the big thing. We're more concerned about that warm water because what happens is, you guys know this, when a storm goes over warm water that runs pretty deep too, not just on the surface, and it does in this case in many spots, you're going to look at what we call rapid intensification. We all know what that is. You go to bed in a storm as a Cat 1, you wake up in a storm as a Cat 3 or a 4. And that's happened on numerous occasions over the last 10 to 15 years. And when it does, it's never a good thing because not only do you have a developing storm, one that's getting stronger faster, you get a lot of people that didn't think it was going to be that strong because, it's a 1. Floridians normally don't freak out when there's a 1, right? We get ready for it. We know there's going to be some power outages, but we don't normally evacuate. And most of the time we think, well, we could handle that. But the problem is, let's say like with Michael several years ago that was, approaching the Panhandle, it practically overnight it went from a 1 to a 5.
Yeah, that's unbelievable.
Yeah. And that's one of those deals that the folks at the EOC lose all their sleep over, because how do you prepare folks, or more than that, how do you evacuate coastal folks if it was a 1 and then all of a sudden it's a 5 and you're now 24 to 36 hours out? That is the nightmare scenario that most EOC folks are worried about. And that normally only happens when you have rapid intensification, and that normally only happens when it goes over an extremely high water temperature. And that's the one that keeps them up at night.
Now, Dennis, explain rule number 7. This is Dennis has a whole list of rules to follow. Explain rule number 7 to our listeners.
It started out, and you guys remember this, I'm sure, back in 2012, the RNC, the Republican National Convention, was in Tampa.
Yep.
And as it was here, we had a hurricane get really close to our area just as the RNC was about to start. Its name was Isaac. And by the way, those ice storms are the ones that you go back and, ice storms have been rough for a lot of folks in Florida and elsewhere. But
good point. Yeah.
you had Ian, you had Irma, you had Isaac, there's just been a ton of them. And so anyway, 2012, the RNC's happening. This storm is coming close, and everybody's freaking out. They were talking about moving the RNC to Jacksonville because of this hurricane.
Yeah.
And I just knew it wasn't going to be a huge deal for us. So I developed, literally in about a 5-minute stretch, I sat down and created these rules for this one particular storm. Whatever the margin of error was, things changed. Don't worry about it. At the end of the day, rule number 7 was don't freak out unless I'm freaking out. We're fine. And I was talking about Isaac. Well, you know how the things like this happen. Sometimes things just kind of take a life of their own. And as silly as it is, for whatever reason, with this storm, it turned into any storm. Dennis, is it a rule number 7? Should we be freaking out? And that's kind of how it is. Now, and I say it, somewhat in jest, but look, I don't care what the storm is. If you're freaking out, you're not going to be able to make the right decisions for your family to keep you and your family safe anyway. So it's a good place to start, where if you're prepared in advance, and everybody who's listening to this show has heard it a million times, it only takes one. We have to prepare like this is going to be the year. I've said this on air and on my show a million times, and I don't want this to come back and bite me in the butt, because it's not, but statistically speaking, if you go back and look at the numbers, and the numbers don't lie, they are what they are. It's been over 100 years since the Bay Area's been hit directly by a major hurricane. 103 years.
1921, was it?
Correct. And it was in October, no less.
Yep.
And
well, we've always learned that for us, we're more likely to have hurricane activity affecting us on the west coast of Florida in October. It's the late September, Octobers that we generally have to worry about.
Yeah, and it all makes sense. There's a reason for this. You can make the argument. I see it both ways, but you can make the argument that our immediate area in West Central Florida is not prone to be hit by a major hurricane. But we all know we're going to get one at some point. Look, we're going to. If you live in Florida and you think you're going to bypass getting a hurricane, you've got your head stuck in the sand. We're going to get one at some point. But you can make the argument, because hurricanes, as all low pressure, the stronger low pressure gets, the more likely it's going to be drawn northward toward the poles, which is what happens, right? So if you get a storm coming in from our south, which is our worst case scenario, one that moves between Cuba and the Yucatan, it's going to want to go north. The Panhandle, you can absolutely make the argument, is a hurricane-prone area. The Outer Banks of the Carolinas is a hurricane-prone area. New Orleans West is a hurricane-prone area, because these are areas that, as the storm gets stronger, it'll be drawn more toward those areas. For us, we talked about an October storm. Why is it more likely? Because what brings a storm into our area? A trough or a front coming in from the south, or from the north, rather. How many fronts do we get in August or July or early September? Not too many.
It's later that the troughs drop from the north and starts pushing them, I guess, making it more favorable for us.
Yeah, they turn into Florida.
Yep.
That'll kick them from the southwest to the northeast.
Yep.
So there's a lot of meteorological proof and truth to the fact that maybe our area is not a prone area for major hurricanes. Now, I'll tell you.
Tell our insurance companies that.
Well, this is true, right?
What a mess.
Yeah. But the problem is there's a lot of other areas that are. And I think we all know, the rates, that's just the way it works, is if someone else gets hit, the entire state still pays for it.
Right.
And I mean, that's just the way it works. And lastly, with these storms, I'm talking about major hurricanes. You look at, statistically speaking, 1 out of every 4 years, a hurricane comes within 50 miles of our coastline. Now, it's not a major storm, but it's a Cat 1. You go back and look at the numbers. 1 out of every 4 years, a hurricane, Cat 1, or a tropical storm gets within 50 miles of our area. So, look, at some point, our luck is going to run out. I don't say that to hype it, because I get so ticked off seeing everything on social now. This is the one, and you show a model that's 10 days out, and the models 10 days out are useless. So, it really irritates me, but it'd be crazy to think that we're not at some point going to get one. It's going to happen. So,
well, Dennis, I hope we're not talking to you about this and a potential bearing down of a named storm on our area this season. I want to just keep kicking the can down the road.
I'm with you. And there's a lot of folks that put their faith in on the Indian burial grounds and Safety Harbor and St. Nicholas and Tarpon Springs
and Indian Rocks Beach. Yeah.
And the 2001 spaceship on Dale Mabry.
But if it's working, hey, I'm okay with it. But I mean, we hope people get ready early June, because typically June, even though there might be a storm that forms, let me tell you, we've had several times where we've had tropical storms end our droughts because they show up in June. June storms are rarely, if ever, particularly strong. So we've already said that June might be a little more active, but that doesn't mean active for anything that's going to be all that devastating. July, most of the time, is still rather quiet. Things historically don't get ramped up until mid-August until the end of October. I mean, that's kind of the time. So these long-range predictions, to me, they're useless. They're a waste of time, because they either give people a false sense of security, which can blow up in their face if you get one storm. I mean, we say this example.
Yeah, only takes one.
Yeah, I mean, and look at 1992. It was a quiet year. The A storm did not even form until the middle of August.
Yep.
So it was a quiet year. But yet, if you tell people that Hurricane Andrew was a quiet year in South Florida, they would beg to differ with you. So it just takes one. You get ready now. You don't want to be that guy going to Home Depot and Lowe's 2 days out trying to find anything you can to get your house ready, because that's what happens when you wait too long.
Get ready now. Dennis Phillips, I hope we do not talk to you for the rest of the season, at least about hurricanes and tropical storms. It's always great to have you on, but I'd rather talk about other things, like your crazy Christmas light display or something. I'm
already getting ready to put those out right now.
Probably.
But listen, if something happens, we're here. No one does hurricane coverage on the radio better than the MJ Morning Show here on Q105. Dennis, I hope I'm just having dinner with you for the next 6-7 months or so, and not talking to you on the show. So Dennis,
sounds good to me. Yeah. And by the way, if I can, I do want to mention tomorrow afternoon, Safety Harbor, the Crooked Thumb. They're debuting our Rule Number 7 Pale Ale for the year. Portions of the proceeds go to the American Red Cross. And we have a meet and greet where I had a chance to meet lots and lots of people. So again, Safety Harbor tomorrow, Crooked Thumb, 3 to 5. Come on out and say hi and put down a cold one. And again, proceeds go toward the Red Cross.
All right, Crooked Thumb, Safety Harbor tomorrow, 3 to 5. Go meet Dennis Phillips.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Maybe I'll try to get out there this year. Well, I couldn't come last year for some reason.
You were sick.
You're on a plane.
Where was I last year?
Aren't you on a plane tomorrow?
You will be on a plane tomorrow. Oh, no,
Well,
Sunday.
who says I'm leaving tomorrow? I might be able to go tomorrow.
Okay, I don't
Go.
know.
I don't
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think something came up.
All right.
Okay.
Well, Dennis, thank you, buddy. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Dennis.
Bye-bye. All right, Dennis
Bye.
Phillips, ABC Action
Yeah.
News, chief meteorologist, and I hope we don't have to talk to him about hurricanes and tropical storms
Boy.
at all this season.
Do you guys talk about anything else besides weather when you go to dinner?
Yeah,
Of course,
we do.
Dennis is an interesting person,
course,
but
yeah.
I do
Bring back
love
Dennis.
listening to him talk about
Dinas can talk for hours.
hurricane season rules, safe words. It just gets me right and relaxes
You
me.
can just go and go.
All right, hang on. Michelle's calling me. Yeah, because we were supposed to go to the revelation of this new ale at the Crooked Thumb. We were supposed to go last year. We couldn't make it. Hang on a minute. Michelle just called me on the cell phone, so she probably has the real story on why we didn't make it last year. Hang on. Let me buzz her quickly here. Folks, we got $1,000 to give away in just a bit. Another $1,000, the final one. Hey, Michelle.
Hello.
Yeah, I saw you just called me. So, did you want to weigh in on the Crooked Thumb?
We couldn't go because you had kidney stones. We were actually going to go.
Oh, that's right.
And then you had your procedure, I think, like that Thursday.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Last year I was having miserable kidney stones, and that's right. I was incapacitated.
Yep. But you know what? I was looking for a plan for the weekend, so now I know what we're doing.
I guess we're going to Safety Harbor on
We are.
Saturday, tomorrow, 3 to 5. So, hey, go see Dennis Phillips and see me drink a Sprite. No.
That's about right.
No, I'm not a beer drinker, but listen, maybe and we can go to the Nona Slice House and get some pizza, too.
Wow, what a
Like I
weekend.
said,
That's
we're
all.
making 2 stops.
All right, there we
Whoa.
go. All right, we'll see you in Safety Harbor tomorrow, folks. All right, Michelle,
All right.
I'll see you in a bit. Bye.
You're such a weatherman humper.
I'm not a weatherman humper. What are you talking about?
I'm just saying. The guy walks up to you and says, I'm a meteorologist. You're like, hey.
They're storm chasers, and you chase them.
I got 1,000. Can't you stop it?
Yeah,
All right.
you love them.
$1,000 on the way in minutes. Final chunk of the MJ Morning Show coming up. A guy that used to work for Spirit Airlines sent me a warning. I've got a DM on my Instagram feed. Guy that used to work for Spirit. He said, "You've been warned." So what is he warning me about?
That sounds like a threat.
Yeah, I'm flying Spirit for the first time in my life this weekend. Hold on. We got an update on the Elvis Presley deal. We have an update on the whole P. Diddy, Sean Diddy Combs, Cassie Ventura situation. We got a lot of stuff to cram into the final segment, and $1,000 next here on the MJ Morning Show on Q105. You're listening to publicly supported classical radio with the MJ Morning Show. MJ in the Morning, classical all day. All right. Why didn't you guys tell me that I had this little telephone cord curly Q hair hanging down from the front of my head all day long?
I honestly didn't notice.
Oh, man, I just went to the bathroom. I left the studio for the first time during the commercial break because I virtually never leave the studio. Listen, Froggy and Roxanne are not even back. I don't even know where the hell they are. Oh, here comes Froggy.
Yeah?
No,
I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear it. No deal. No deal. This is my business.
Yeah, I don't want to hear it. No deal.
Hey, you're ripping off my bit. You're ripping off my bit.
Both of them are negotiating big contracts.
I've got my business.
Yeah, both of them.
You're ripping off my bit.
Yeah, I got Roxanne's voice tracking weekends, and I got Froggy's out smoking a doob. What's going on here, right?
Hey, it's the weekend, baby.
All right, listen. You guys didn't tell me. I just went to the bathroom during the commercial, and I had a curly Q.
I can't see you.
Well, it was like an old phone cord. Like, let me hold up. It's like the phone cord. I'm holding this up to MJ TV right now, and it was like I had this curly Q hair thing. It was like it was like I was one of those Hasidic guys with the little things coming down the side. Hey,
those are nice guys. I do a lot of business with them.
Yeah, so you didn't tell me I had a big old telephone cord curly Q coming down.
I would have told you if I saw it.
A hickey
really
from
would've.
MJ is like a Hallmark card.
We have $1,000 with the MJ Morning Show, $40,000 money heist coming up in just minutes. This is it, folks. Last one. $1,000. Who will be the last winner with the $40,000 MJ Morning Show money heist? Brought to you this week by the Kemp Law Group. Accident or fall, you call Kemp Law. Hey, as we head into the weekend, I've had this in my pile for a couple of days here, and I thought this was an interesting question. Can you ignore emails that your boss sends you over the weekend? Yes or no? What are your thoughts?
Absolutely not.
I would say that you can, but you can't ignore a phone call or a text message.
Depends on what kind of job you have.
Yeah, it depends on what you're doing.
Hang on a minute. You can ignore an email, but you can't ignore a text message or a phone call.
Because who's to say that you're even going to log on to your email over your weekend, right?
Who's the boss here?
Yeah, who is the boss?
Who's our
Where do we work?
boss?
Why are you looking
Besides
at?
me,
What are
Tony
you staring
Danza.
at? What are you
Oh, I'm just I forgot I was wearing my Luigi's Pizza Brooklyn T-shirt today.
Are you looking at yourself?
Yeah. No. I ought to send Gio at Luigi's in Brooklyn. I ought to send him a screenshot of me wearing.
Yeah, that'd be
Yeah. Why don't you send him the whole link of the 4-hour
Yeah.
show?
Yeah.
You
There
watch
you
it
go.
all day.
Look at
waste
this.
of time.
Yeah.
Okay, so
One, I
yeah.
think it depends what your job is. If you have a
Yeah.
definite punch out time,
Yeah.
and
Punch
you're
it
not
out.
and you're not a essential employee or something like that. Like I don't consider myself an essential employee around here.
I would concur.
Yeah, so Ronnie D, manager. What's his title? I don't know. But
He's the general manager.
when the general
Yeah.
manager, if he needs me on a Saturday, I'm like, Ronnie, bad news, dude. Deuces. Talk to you Monday.
Think about that. Are you in a job where you can ignore your boss's email over the weekend? We ought to grab some calls on that, maybe next week. So we'll be off on Monday for Memorial Day. And remember, folks, what Memorial Day is all about. It's to memorialize those that fought for this country, served in our armed forces, and lost their lives. That's what Memorial Day is all about.
Not buying a mattress.
I also want everybody to know that we invited MJ to our annual beach house party, and he denied. He'd rather hang out with Dennis Phillips. Just throwing that out
Hold
there.
on a minute. When are you guys going to the beach house?
No, it's okay.
Hey, when are you going to your Reddington Beach
Today.
house? All right. So tomorrow, Michelle does want to go to the Dennis Phillips beer launch in Safety Harbor. What's the name of it? The Crooked Thumb?
You guys might want to get that checked out.
You may want to call Dennis.
It's 3 to 5 tomorrow.
You know what? Not the worst part to have crooked.
And then I'm flying to.
It's a paneer. What is it called?
Peroni's.
Peroni's.
Then you're flying. You're not even going to be here. Then I'm flying to Fort Lauderdale to see my parents for a day or so. Anyway, speaking of flying to Fort Lauderdale, I will be on Spirit Airlines for the first time ever in my life.
I haven't heard that.
I can't wait for you to do this so I don't have to hear that anymore. And I hope something catastrophic happens.
I never thought I would be on the airline. I said I will never fly Spirit. I can't imagine a scenario. And then here we go. Out of nowhere, the scenario pops up because they had the most convenient flight going and coming, and I got it for $59 each way.
You're going to be hungover on your flight. You're going to be one of the Spirit passengers that people are going to be taking because you're going to the Dennis event. You're going to get wild at the Dennis event.
It's for his new beer launch.
Yeah, you're going to drink the beer.
What, are you new? I don't drink beer. I don't like beer.
When in Rome.
No, I'm not going to drink beer. I just don't like.
When in Crooked Thumb.
I just don't drink beer, but I will show up to support Dennis Phillips and his new. I guess they name a pale ale. Is that what it is? They name an ale after
every year. They change the recipe a little bit.
Gotcha.
How about you name one after MJ and show some respect?
Yeah. All right. So speaking of my Spirit flight, Kevin is a listener. Kevin sent me a direct message, a DM on Instagram. And my DMs are open, folks. You can always DM me. Just please don't send me the reels. Stop sending me reels.
And nudes.
What if the reels are funny?
I hate getting reels. Please stop sending me. All right, but you can DM me anytime. I'm Certified MJ Radio. If you don't follow me on Instagram, give me a follow. Certified MJ Radio. And Kevin sent me this about my impending first ever upcoming Spirit Airlines experience this weekend. I used to work for Spirit Airlines in the 90s, and I was a supervisor as well here in Tampa. And if I told you the things I know about this airline, which has definitely gotten better, you'd be better off driving there for that price. But good luck to you, sir.
How long is that? Have they been around?
Yeah, he said I suggest you use Southwest Airlines instead and pay a little extra. Southwest was like $500 or something. It was like, remember when I like Southwest, but do you remember when Southwest used to be like a more budget-conscious carrier? And then suddenly, I went to bed one night, and I woke up in the morning, and suddenly, Southwest had fares as high as Delta and American and United.
I love Southwest.
I do like Southwest, but what was that? Why did I fall asleep and I woke up the next day? Suddenly, Southwest was the same price as all the major carriers.
They give you the impression of value because they don't charge for the first 2 bags.
Yeah, bags fly free,
but you pay for everything else.
Anyway, he says take the train. He says, you've been warned.
Oh, come on.
And then I wrote back to him yesterday, I will take my chances for the sake of radio content.
Could you imagine?
So, I don't know. Listen, I'm sure that I'm going to be fine flying that bright mustard yellow French's condiment bottle of an airplane.
We're going to ISO this up in case the plane goes down or something.
I'm dumping that. I just dumped that.
What? I'm just saying.
I just dumped that as an irresponsible
we could
thing.
use the audio instead of the CNN.
What is wrong with you?
Of you saying,
all right,
I think I'll be fine.
I'll take my chances for the sake of radio content.
Why'd you dump that?
From Tampa, Florida, local radio man gets it really wrong.
All right, we stop.
Spirit Airlines over the weekend.
Isn't it ironic?
Just hours earlier, MJ from the MJ Morning Show says,
guys, shut up.
I'll be fine.
We talk about morbid stuff on here all the time.
I know, what the hell?
Let's talk about your plane now. Ooh.
Let's give away $1,000. Caller 105. Going to do the last one at caller 105. Let's go. 800-990-1047. The final $1,000 with the 40,000. Do you realize we've given away $39,000 in cash over the last 2 weeks? And this will make $40,000 right now. Caller 105. 800-990-1047. That's 800-990-1047. Gets you right on the MJ Morning Show here on Q105. Caller 105, 800-990-1047. Be the right caller. Know who won last hour, and you win $1,000. I think I briefly mentioned this, but we didn't get into much detail, that whatever that scam was or whatever the story was, the company that was trying to foreclose on Graceland, where Elvis used to live in Memphis, like a remote.
Yeah.
That now they've dropped the foreclosure. I mean, this is could somebody please get to the bottom of this story? Because earlier in the week, we were like, oh man, it's like Thursday. They can start auctioning off Elvis's house, the Graceland. You know, that thing brings in like tens of millions a year in revenue with the tour of Graceland. I did the tour. I went to Graceland when I was visiting Memphis. How can you not? And, you know, I wanted to know if somebody ended up with Graceland and it fell out of the Elvis Presley family. I mean, if you bought the place, you got Elvis buried in the backyard. I mean, suddenly you got Elvis.
You get the body of Elvis.
Bust out that metal detector. You can find all kinds of stuff back there.
Anyway, Graceland saved from foreclosure. The lawsuit was dropped. Riley Keough, who is Elvis's granddaughter and the daughter of the late Lisa Marie Presley, filed a lawsuit. And man, I still would like to know. It's just a convoluted story. Granddaughter Riley Keough sued lending company Nauceny Investments and Private Lending over its attempt to foreclose on the famous Graceland under an alleged fraudulent scheme. A representative from Graceland has confirmed, and the company withdrew its claims to the property. As the court has now made clear, there was no validity to the claims. There will be no foreclosure. Graceland will continue to operate as it has for the past 42 years, ensuring that Elvis fans from around the world can continue to have the best in-class experience when visiting his iconic home. I thought it was great. I really enjoyed visiting Graceland. You know, when you go inside, though, inside the house, it kind of feels like you're in, you know, grandma's house in 1975.
It takes you right back.
It does.
Yeah.
It really did. Oh, did you hear what Prince Harry said?
No, what?
Oh, God, what do you say now?
Oh, yeah.
He steps in it.
So, Prince Harry, he's been slammed because he complained about Graceland. Yeah, I guess this just was realized. Remember the book that Harry wrote, Spare, meaning, you know, his brother William is in line for the throne. He's just the spare. I mean, he's way back now because now line of succession for the royal throne, you've got after King Charles, you'll have William.
And William's sons.
Then William's sons get in line. So Harry is pushed back.
Another good title for that book would have been Wham, Wham, Wham.
Yeah, there you go.
You're in a royal family. Things aren't that bad.
But I guess it's been remembered. I don't know how many people read the book Spare, But
spa.
But Harry went on to disparage Graceland.
What did he say?
Elvis was a fat pig.
What did he say? What a dump it is compared to his royal palaces?
Essentially, that's exactly what he said.
He's not wrong.
Is it not all it's cracked up to be when you go into that place?
No, it's exactly what you expect it to be. A house from the 70s that hasn't changed an inch.
Yeah, I mean, Harry,
Weird.
totally
not quite a comfortable place.
When you think of modern big houses and modern mansions, you don't think of what Graceland looks like.
Prince Harry complained about Elvis Presley's iconic mansion in Tennessee in his memoir, Spare. You don't criticize America when you're living here as our guest. That's what Don McLean said.
Oh,
Don McLean, the singer of American Pie.
Oh, shut up and sing your one song.
He responded, in Spare, Harry throws jabs at Elvis's home. He said, I walked around saying the king lived here. You say, really? I stood in one tiny room with loud furniture and shag carpet and thought the king's interior designer must have been on acid.
All right, he's not a real king, Harry.
Anyway, Prince Harry disparaging, that's not the way to endear yourselves to, a whole bunch of
boomers?
Elvis fans and frequent visitors to Branson, Louisiana, or Branson, Missouri. Branson, Missouri.
I think the younger generation might agree with him. This is not an impressive place. It's, the jungle room is like, what?
Now, I saw a documentary on Liberace's house from back in the day. Now, that was impressive.
I hate to say this, but is my house nicer than Elvis's house? It is.
It's different.
All of our houses are nicer.
It's different.
All right.
But, when you think of
your house actually reminds me of Liberace's.
Get out of here. All right, 9:40.
All the candelabras.
Yeah, okay. 9:46 at the MJ Morning Show. Hi, good morning. Who's this?
My name's Felisa.
Felisa?
Yes.
Felisa, where are you calling from?
St. Petersburg.
Felisa in St. Petersburg. You realize we've given away $39,000 up until this point, and the next winner will have the final 1,000, making it the $40,000 MJ Morning Show Money Heist, brought to you by the Kemp Law Group. You realize that, correct?
I do, and I love you guys.
Felisa, have you been listening for the last 2 weeks trying to win $1,000?
I have. My heart is pounding.
Would you believe that you are poised to potentially win the $1,000 final prize?
I hope so.
Felisa from St. Petersburg, your caller 105.
Thank you.
You are the correct caller. Can you tell me who won the 1,000 last hour for the final $1,000?
Meow, cat.
Yes! Boom!
I was so hoping I'd win so I could do that.
$1,000. You got it, Felisa.
Oh, I love you guys. Thank you so much. Have fun tomorrow at that Crooked Thumb.
Yeah, I'm going to go there, and then I get on Spirit Airlines the next morning. So
yeah, that sounds crazy.
Sit next to the Crooked Wing.
All right. So how do you spell Felisa?
It's F as in Frank.
Yeah.
ELECIA.
Okay, you need to know that. 6 a.m. on Monday. Nope, just kidding. It's done.
This is the last one.
That is it. Anyway, thank the Kemp Law Group.
I will. Thank you so much.
All right. Also, thanks to Lucan's Wine and Spirits. They did last week. They did 20 grand. Kemp Law Group this week. Accident or fall, you call Kemp Law. They did 20 grand this week. All right, Felisa, congratulations. Yeah. Thanks for listening to the show.
You.
And
thank you so much.
And please spend that $1,000 wisely, or just put it under your mattress, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Hold on, and Andrew's going to pick up the phone and get all your information. There we go. Felisa, St. Pete, the final winner with the MJ Morning Show. I want to thank everyone. Oh, man, can you imagine if I pick up this line here?
Oh, do it.
Hi, good morning, MJ Morning Show.
Yeah, good. Okay, they showed us. We shouldn't have. That was bad karma. Don't do that.
They realized it.
We love bad karma.
Hi, good morning, MJ Morning Show.
Hi.
Hey, I hate to break the news, but your caller 107. 106 just hung up on me because they knew they were about to get the jazz. But You're caller 107. You were so close.
Yeah, so far.
Yeah. What's your name?
Ginger.
All right, Ginger, you were so close. Where are you calling from, Ginger?
I'm calling from Lakeland.
You were close. Thanks for listening, though, okay?
No problem. You guys had a great weekend.
You too. This would be caller 108. Hi, good morning. Who's this?
This is Paul.
Hey, Paul, you were so close. You're caller 108, but I want to thank you for trying.
Oh.
Yeah, we just gave it away. Thank you, man.
All right, let's stop at this. This is getting
I was going to go up to 200. Hey, you were so close. You were only 95 away.
This is a really sad way to go into a happy extended weekend.
It's a real happy weekend,
It's Memorial Day weekend.
Well, it's time spent together.
It's Memorial Day. You want me to sit around and cry all weekend? No, it's not going to happen. Listen, we remember the fallen soldiers.
Dude, what are you saying?
I know what he's saying.
We're both looking at you in horror.
Screw you guys. What are you going to sit? Yeah, both of you guys.
I'm looking at you in absolute horror.
Yeah.
Memorial Day is
you're going to a brewery with a weather guy. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Froggy's going to be at the beach house. I'm crashing a Disney pool, and Roxanne's going to be walking around in a skimpy bathing suit.
I remember what Memorial Day is all about, and it's to honor those and remember those that gave their life fighting for our country. And with that,
yes,
we will call it a week. We won't be here Monday because it is Memorial Day. We will be back on Tuesday morning. That is, if I survive my experience on Spirit Airlines, my first time ever. Follow my Instagram, Certified MJ Radio, for blow-by-blow, play-by-play. Yeah. My carry-on is going to be compliant. I want to see if they try to jam me up for $100, even though I'm going to be in total compliance for a personal item. We'll see. Listen, I got a feeling my experience on Spirit is going to be just fine this weekend.
Keep your spirits up.
Yeah, I will. All right. Follow me. I'll track it all. Certified MJ Radio on Instagram. Give me a follow. Roxanne, anything before we go?
At Roxanne Wilder, give me a follow.
Any substance you want to deliver?
No substance.
Right, okay.
No substance. Just a follow, please.
Right,
I'll catch up with you on Monday.
Okay. No, we're not here Monday.
I am.
Tuesday. All right. So Fester, you've already said enough. Froggy, have a nice weekend. Anything you want to say?
Have a nice weekend, everybody.
We'll see you back here Tuesday morning, MJ Morning Show on Q105, and let's be careful out there.